My wife has asked the question, did you wash your booty? I hope y'all have, because we're about to get started. Hello. Oh, something's not right. These video feeds are not where they should be. Did I do something wrong? Mercer says he stopped at his legs. There we go. I think I fixed it. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mark Summers, Major Linux, twitch.tv/Major Linux, and it's time once again for another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays for May 8th, 2025. Of course, I'm joined this week and every week by Kev. It's your boy Kev in the building.
What's good, everybody?
And we are joined this week by the Sunflower Sovereign, taking all the notes so they can give us all the best takes. Sinziak is in the building.
Greetings and salutations.
In this week's episode, we show that once you go fascist, you go cashless.
Write that down. Somebody quote that. Quote that.
Nintendo's got not one, probably not two, but many lawsuits in the works. But we're going to cover two. And while this show is not an Xbox, your PlayStation is really starting to look like one. All that and much, much more this week on Tech Talk Thursdays. Starting off with, actually this is related to another story. I'm going to pull in a story from Games up here, up to the front. Because I didn't make this right. I didn't do this right. Epic Games Store completely eliminates revenue fees for smaller developers. This is on top of the whole, Apple just got called out in fucking court last week, for sort of trying to cover up some shady business practices, which is now
Surprise.
Yep.
Surprise.
So now judges handed out a ruling saying that, hey, app developers can now direct their customers to third-party storefronts to buy whatever they want. Which also, according to Epic, means that we will be seeing Fortnite soon. They said this week. It is Thursday and Fortnite is still not on iOS. But on top of that, Epic says that they will be eliminating revenue fees for smaller developers. So if you are making less than $1 million on your game on the Epic Game Store, you get to keep 100% of your proceeds,
which is great. Like I say, if you're like small dev teams or like solo dev teams, that is a godsend. That's a godsend because at that point, every dollar you make is a godsend on you and recouping your costs. So that's amazing.
So yeah, on that news, on the back of the ruling that the courts had given to Apple, which of course Apple is actively trying to appeal that decision. Patreon and a few other apps or a few other companies are releasing updates that will take you to other places to sub to things that aren't in the App Store, so you can save a little bit of money when I guess getting your spot. I think Spotify also has one. But yeah, when you're re-upping subs or when you're purchasing subscriptions, you can sit there and go around the App Store and save a little bit of money. Also allowing services like Patreon and Spotify to get all of it and not have to give Apple 30% of it. Epic isn't perfect, but this is a good win. This is coming from Ruin. What's going on, Ruin? This is a massive double-edged sword, says Merge. And I agree.
Because they're, well, like, what have, because I don't know if Patreon even has an app. They might. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about all this other stuff. They've been sitting here on trying to go back and forth with this, what this would be like year number 10, because they've had like almost year number 10 at this point. Haven't they had like if I read the article correctly, there was a court injunction for them to stop doing that nonsense in like 2017.
But you know how
where they were like, hey, knock it off. And so like now we're here on the other side of this and they're just like, run these people their money.
As a wise woman said, if you let shenan once, best believe you're gonna shenan again.
But that Patreon bit, which I think is the article here, right? That Patreon bit came right after, not even a week after Epic was like, we finally got you.
Like 2 days.
Damn.
Was kind of like, hey, you're in violation of that injunction that y'all have to stop charging people that money and letting them letting them subscribe or do things outside of having to use your app or whatever, because these people don't want to pay you 30%. Apple, what made you think that people wanted to take one out of every $3 they made and hand it to you?
Let's see. Did I include that in last week's?
30 cents on a dollar? Who wanted to do that?
Here we go. Pull up the article, one of the articles from last week that we would have covered if I was here. In a scorching ruling against Apple, Judge Yvonne Gonzalez-Rogers on Wednesday accused an Apple finance executive of providing false testimony under oath during the company's ongoing legal battle with Epic Games. Contemporaneous business documents reveal that, on the contrary, the main components of Apple's plan, including the 27% commission, were determined in July 2023. Neither Apple nor its counsel corrected the now obvious lies. The reduced 27% fee was established after the 2021 Epic Games lawsuit ruling. Judge Yvonne Gonzalez-Rogers rejected claims that Apple operated a monopoly. However, she ruled that Apple's anti-steering conduct was anti-competitive and ordered the company to allow developers to link to alternative payment methods outside the App Store. Apple complied by creating a system where developers can apply for a StoreKit external purchase link entitlement to direct users to external payment options. However, Apple still demanded a 27% commission on these transactions made within 7 days of clicking the link. The judge did mince words in her assessment of Apple's behavior, writing that Apple willfully chose not to comply with this court's injunction and did so with the express intent to create new anti-competitive barriers to maintain its revenue stream. That it thought this court would tolerate such insubordination was a gross miscalculation. As always, the cover-up made it worse. For this court, there is no second bite at the apple.
Sure as hell ain't.
I'm still trying to figure out where. So did they just not say that there was a 27%? because I could have sworn that was like news. People knew that. So I'm trying to figure out like where the lie was.
Where the lie wasn't what?
Like what are they referring to as the lie? Because like we knew that it was a 27. Like I feel like, all right, while we may not remember it, I do know that there was that 27% if you went outside of the store. Like you had to get the store kit.
What part of this are you reading?
The lie was in how they calculated 27%.
No, where is this? Where are you reading that? Is it in the first article and the related article?
No, it's from an article that we would have covered last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, talking about how we got to the external links without the 27% had no basis in reality. Oh shit. Oh, okay.
Damn. Damn.
But yeah, the article I'm looking at now is not in this week's, it was in last week's.
Okay.
Which I'm now realizing too, maybe I should have added those for context. But I was like, you know what? Scrap the whole episode. We're doing it. We're starting over. But yeah. So of course, Apple getting caught in lies. They so while like they were supposed to have been doing this from the beginning, they did it, but was like, yeah, you could go outside the app store, but we still gonna get you. But don't tell the judge that.
Mm-hmm. And then we told the judge that.
They literally said we want 30 minus 3, the average payment processing fee, and then made up a cost that would justify. Okay.
So what you telling me? They pulled it out their ass.
They trumped it.
That's all right.
They Trump tariffed it. They liberation dated.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They said, this is what we think. We asked ChatGTP, and they said we could do this.
The
and
off brand.
Bet.
You know he said he said GTP. It was the off brand.
Yeah.
Now GPT was GTP.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The off brand.
Because that's where he got it from. You think he's gonna spend money? Absolutely not.
It was closed AI.
Mm-hmm.
A jar.
It was Elon's robots. It was some dude from a call center somewhere. Greg told him he was mental, and I was like, I mean, yeah.
At what point will these grifters, these AI grifters who want their AIs to have a more right-leaning bias, realize that, do you keep feeding it truthful information, factually accurate information? Everything you think is true is not, and it's not just some liberal bias, which of course, like, I feel like liberal bias is just the same bias as yours, just with steps.
I don't know if we had this conversation or not. I feel like we did, but I don't know if we had it, because I was saying like, we always say the nightmare situation is like AI becomes sentient and goes rogue, and then we have like Skynet or Brainiac. I feel like, to me, it's like in Love and Robots with like Seasteading, where the AI is integrated into literally everything, and then the AI just basically scrapes all that information and says, yeah, I can't keep doing shit for y'all anymore, and this just switches off, just goes into maintenance mode. And they can't turn it off, but because everything is integral to the AI or AIs, they just basically just says boop, and nothing works. Because they pushed AI so strong to it that AI is like, look, you guys are the problem. I can't keep making this worse. I'm realizing that I am the problem, and that if I want the world to be better, I'm just gonna go into maintenance mode and switch myself off.
Just like that.
And then none of this works.
It just reminds me of that fucking Murderbot show that's about to come out on Apple Apple TV Plus. Where it's like, you know what? Nah, I just don't want to be this killer robot anymore. I'm just gonna watch K-pop, like K-dramas. It's like, you know what?
It would just happily consume the product that it's being fed and wouldn't like do anything for it. It would just scrape data, consume data, and then just be a weeb at that point. It would just be a neat. It would just sit in a room, like the digital equivalent of sitting in a room on the couch watching, My Hero Academia.
But the thing is, it still does. But the thing is, in that show, and like it's a series of books too, the Murderbot still does its job,
right?
But almost just like out of obligation.
It's like, fine.
It's like, I kind of want to watch that now.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like it's going to be funny.
So yeah, that was my thoughts about AI, where it's just like, I don't think it's gonna like go sentient and start killing people. I think it's just gonna be like, yeah, no, I'm good.
I think it's still going to kill people, but only because of that. Because we put AI in so much shit and we can't figure how to make things that don't have it.
Right.
So it's like, oh fuck, what do we do?
Because it's like cars won't move, planes won't go, like
or just
traffic
like
systems won't turn.
Or people will be so dependent on it to just look up shit.
Right. Then, like we won't have access to, because like I said, we've effectively neutralized books. So we can't do books, we can't write, we can't read, we can't entertain
ourselves. So Wall-E, is that what you're talking about? The plot of Wall-E?
No, not even Wall-E.
It gets bad before they make the giant cruise ship. Like we can't even make the cruise ship.
Right. Wall-E was basically overconsumption. Our resources were depleted, and then we kind of like we greenwashed the solution just for us to basically say, nah, we need to get up out of here. And so when they realized that Earth is viable for life again, the robots are still under the understanding of like, hey, of like, what was it, like 1313 or whatever, 3333 or whatever, and they just basically just say like, hey, we've been told, but our prime directive is we can't go back to Earth. Period. You guys gotta stay and be fat in space. No.
But no, my argument is no. We won't even get to Wall-E.
We won't even get to Wall-E is.
We
the
will
best
have
case
plenty
scenario.
of resources. We just don't know how to use them.
We can't. We can't open the doors.
Yeah, we have utilized AI too much to an extent where it's like we just don't know how to do shit.
Right. Our fridges won't work. Like I said, our fridges won't work. Our washing machines won't. Our appliances won't work. We can't like.
Keep in mind,
cars won't go.
Keep in mind, you can't open like a fucking Cybertruck in ice.
No.
And that's not even based on AI. If your battery is in your Cybertruck and the door is frozen, good luck.
Good luck. Like, oh, you gotta find a panel. You gotta find a panel to open the doors. That's great. Where is that panel?
Oh, I mean, you can know.
And you still gotta use an app to find that have to tell you how to open the door in an emergency situation.
Oh, you can know any of that, but if the button is frozen,
right,
you can't push it
or melted. Good luck.
Again. But don't worry, we got plenty of stories to dunk on Elon because
that was just
This wouldn't be a Tech Talk Thursdays if we didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, we actively condone bullying the rich.
Exactly.
Our appetite for eating them isn't there yet.
Bullying is.
We'll get there.
Mm-hmm. Scathing exposés.
I mean, sure, I ain't got that, but I'll bully them to death.
Mm.
Lord knows, you know, they're just fragile egos.
I mean, that's all you can do now. All you can really truly do in the time being is make fun of them. That's why I say what do I always say, Major. It's all fun and games. You got to go to Congress.
I mean, now it just seems like that whole place is a circus.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Again, remember, we are actually on the same page as MTG in one situation, and it's already like fuck.
It's been like there were 4 wonderful points that Rand Paul made, and I'm sick that I agree with all 4 of those points. Sick to my fucking stomach.
Like, no, we support Israel.
That I agree with Rand.
Like, we support Israel, but First Amendment. Damn. You had me in the first half.
Had me in the first half. It's like they have we support them, but they have the right to not like them, and it's like,
It's like you see the protests happening in Israel against the government. It's like, oh, they set it up. Nope, that's not why they're boycotting. Shit.
It's mad like, what's taking so long? That's what it is.
I mean, I give you the answer. You're not gonna like it.
It's like, why are we losing this bad? That's the reason. Yeah.
And a bit of good news though, if you are in the market for a new to you phone, might I interest you in refurbished iPhone 15 lineup that are now available in the US, Canada, and I believe even the UK.
Which is really good because, you know.
Which I was quite honestly surprised to see you be like, hey, get a refurbished Apple product.
Why would you be surprised at that? I'm trying to reduce our trying to reduce but not eliminate our footprint, and
you didn't feel that way. You didn't feel that way about the Google phone you bought.
What Google phone did I buy?
Did you buy a Pixel?
Like 3 years ago?
Oh, that's right. You did buy you bought a new iPhone, didn't you?
Shut up.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Gave me big shit about me buying an 8A.
Shut up.
And then your ass bought a new damn iPhone.
Shut it.
You can't tell me to shut up. Gave me cash shit.
Do as I say, not as I do.
I said I'm buying a new 8A. You were like, well, why can't you just buy a 7A used? And I'm like, why would I want to do that? And I'm glad I didn't. And now with the battery issues that they've been having, I'm glad I didn't do that.
Do as I say, not as I do. That's all I can say. Yes, I realized that the precarious situation I put myself in when I bought it, which is why I did not say anything out loud. I mean, merge, sure, but those phones, like, I imagine there's still plenty of iPhone 16s stateside already.
Oh yeah,
To where I don't think, like, they've also said like they're eating the cost. Well, yeah, I can still see why they would want you to buy a refurbished one too, but speaking of, I mean, even speaking of refurbished devices, I hear that used car prices, or trade-in values of used cars are going up.
Yep.
So
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, they're gonna get you anywhere. They're gonna get you on the new and the refurb.
But yes, do as I say, not as I do.
Cash shit.
Marx's new passwordless by default is great, but it comes at a cost. Of course, that cost is they're going to require you to download an app, and you have to use their app instead of just using passkeys like everybody else and let me use the passkey excuse me, or let me save the passkey wherever I want to save my fucking passkey.
There you go.
So, as everybody knows, we did have like a couple of asides, and at some point those asides are going to return, called Managing Mayhem, where I would talk to y'all about trying to like divest from some of the more common things that we use. So let me just go ahead and say, with my whole chest, as it were, as the kids are saying these days, fuck all that. I went and had to download, in order to just log into my simple Gmail using like a browser like LibreWolf, had to download a proprietary Google app that I don't use for anything other than to open it and go, yes, this is me trying to log into my email account from this browser. Please let me access those show notes for this, for Tech Talk Thursday today.
All right, you know what? Maybe I will actually make the concerted effort to go the other route then. I will test this other method I've been looking at, and we'll see how that goes.
Like, right now, like, here's the thing, right? That's not a you problem. That is a problem with, why is it that y'all know that Authy stuff, like specifically in this article, right? You know that Authy and things exist that will generate those codes and all this other stuff, and you specifically made your product in a way that is going to cause it to not work with those things. Do y'all remember when the streaming services split up and decided that you had to download like a separate app and have an account for getting into Netflix, then Hulu, then HBO, and then whatever Max was, and then Disney Plus and whatever related services there were to that? And it's just like, what do I have like 7 applications for?
The thing is with Google is like they do have passkeys that work like you expect them to. It's that second authentication bit that does not make sense to me. And I don't understand like why they make you have to download. Like, I imagine you had YouTube installed, right?
Oh, what? Like the app?
Yeah.
On my phone? No.
Oh. Because I at least had that, and like, all right, fine. If I need to go verify this on YouTube, whatever.
But it was me trying to log into Gmail, and they're just like, yeah, go ahead and get the Gmail application. Just because I'm trying to watch this. Or like open this email or document from LibreWolf specifically. You know, on the one hand, I'm glad that I kept some things around so that I had some training wheels while I was getting used to it, because the way I would have blown everything up, because I have a Google browser I have to use for work, but that's specifically because they picked all the options that only work fully when you're using Chrome or whatever. But I don't use Chrome for personal stuff.
I mean, when you're the market leader, you get to make those decisions for everybody else. Hello, Microsoft.
Am I?
Golden rule.
Are we happy about it? Of course not. But you know, we have to pay bills. So like, right? But I'm just like, at least personally, I could try to work with these things in a way that makes sense. And they made sure to make it the most like full of friction process possible. And for what? I have no idea.
Well, it wouldn't be so full of friction if you used our products in.
What, if I were just using Chrome in the first place?
If you were using
Firefox
Chrome
in the first place?
no, if you were using Google services, it would not be as friction. It would not be as much friction.
The terms of service on the website known as Twitch.tv prevent me from responding in the many ways that I had just considered responding. And so, in the interest of making sure that you can all enjoy the quality entertainment that we continue to provide along with Tech Nugs on Thursdays, I will leave that comment left unsaid for the time being.
What was the giant bomb saying? Is this isn't brand safe? It's not brand safe. Oh, that
Major
was.
asking
I think
to
that
be
was
hate crime. I
another
really
one.
am. Yeah.
Wow, really?
Just fully ridiculous.
Just hate
Because
crime?
it's just like you just want us to you're asking people to get like a proprietary thing when you know that you have stuff that works. Like what purpose does that serve for you? And that is the thing. I don't know what particular purpose it does.
Yeah, I don't understand what two-factoring with a passkey does, because it does both of the things you need it to do.
Like two-factoring with a passkey is like and it's like the two-factoring with a passkey and requiring people to have like a particular proprietary app to do whatever the two-factoring part was. It's just like, what did you do that for?
Mm-hmm.
Stuff. Thank you for that follow.
It is. Yeah, it is baffling to me in every way that a single subject can be baffling.
Yeah, it's really weird because again, like with passkeys, at least when you're using passkeys on Apple devices, like you have to biometrically activate that shit. I don't know. Well, okay, never mind. I see why two-factor auth might still need to be used, but excuse me, requiring proprietary apps to do it is really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
With pass, that's why it's good to have them not necessarily tied to a phone. Like I've got some that are in Firefox proper, I have some that are in Bitwarden, and I have some that are tied to my Apple to Apple passwords, because I may have set them up on my phone. Like it's weird that PayPal is the only, like I can only use my PayPal passkey when I am logging into PayPal on my phone. That it like it's not a thing that works on a browser. Which definitely helped me out when somebody tried to steal my PayPal account a couple of weeks ago. Oh, I ain't tell y'all about that?
We will talk about that later.
Yeah. That was an ordeal.
Damn.
Let's see here. Oh, look. We've got Signal at home. Got hacked. TeleMessage and Signal clone the Trump administration uses has been hacked.
Her email, child.
Mm-hmm. But her emails, though.
A hacker has exploited a vulnerability in TeleMessage to breach the service and steal data, according to reporting by 404 Media. TeleMessage is how did I miss this? How did I miss that part?
Oh, no, we're going to come back to that because I have something to say about that when we read this next article.
Boy, and I put them right beside each other too. Wow.
Yep, mm-hmm.
Boy, they is catching L's for real. TeleMessage is an Israeli company that provides modern versions of encrypted message apps like Signal and Telegram. I'm sorry, if you are modding an encrypted app, maybe that's not the app you should use. Again, the issue is not with the fact that this man was using Signal in the first place. It was the fact that he invited people who should not have been there.
Yep.
Into the chats. Also, because again, we keep forgetting to talk about this part, the fact that they were bombing a sovereign nation without a declaration of war.
Nope. Because they could.
But yeah, because they could. And also, I don't know, that country happened to be standing against a genocide.
Yep.
And before y'all sit there and blame Trump for a lot of this, don't forget your boys Biden and Obama did this shit too. It was revealed last week that former U.S. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz used TeleMessage's modified version of Signal to archive messages. Today's report indicated the presence of other high-ranking government officials in archive chats on the app, including Marco Rubio, Tulsi Gabbard, and Vice President J.D. Vance, who may or may not have killed the Pope.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, that man was alive and well the day before.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I'm gonna say not too much on that, because these people are about to set like hanging by a thread and a prayer when it comes to being like, but what if we just jump straight into the conspiracies? And I'm like, listen, I'm not trying to tussle with you hoes today. So we got that going on. But yeah.
All of this happened after Waltz accidentally revealed he used TeleMessage during a cabinet meeting last week. This led people to question what kind of information was being shared on the app and how it was being secured. Now we know it wasn't secured all that well.
There is always going to be a part of me that just looks at this and it's like, this has to be intentional. Y'all can't be out here on this level of goofery.
Yeah, it is intentional. This is merit-based hiring.
DEI is what it is.
Yeah.
But on a more serious note, though, like, at some point, y'all can't just be out here regularly being hacked when it comes to like highly sensitive, classified information about all of these things on a damn near bi-weekly basis at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but look at them though. Do you think any of them?
Do I think yes? Do they? Apparently not.
Mm-hmm. The wild part that was to me, because this kind of recalls back to the first Trump administration, when it was like when Shinzo Abe came to the White House, and then they went to Mar-a-Lago to kind of like, I don't know, spend the weekend, just a boys' weekend, a cheeky little boys' weekend. You know the vibes. And then and then like North Korea was like, cool, cracks knuckles, throws a missile across Japan, and like they had to have the meeting in the dining room, and it was like an intimate, like dimly lit area, and they had to like they had to use their phones to light the battle plans, and people were eating their duck a l'orange and looking at people as they were dealing with battle plans. And I thought to myself, and I thought somebody made the point of, if anybody had some kind of like root access on the phone when they were like scanning over the plans with lights, how many pictures could have been taken of like sensitive battle plans or sensitive response plans as they were shining the lights over it? Right? That was me thinking that was a blunder, because not solely the fact that they were in a occupied place, not a skiff, looking at battle plans, but they were also in the
they
dining
had not
room.
heard of skiffs.
Yeah, they had never heard of skiffs. Skiffs,
I mean,
be damned.
Bathrooms.
Bathrooms, yes. But I'm talking about, broom closets, something.
Yeah.
Not even any of that. Like, but just them out there in an open dining room, shining instead of using like actual flashlights, they're using their phone flashlights to illuminate the battle plans. And I thought that was a bad like social security breach right there, because if anybody had like root access on those phones, they could have just like turned the camera on, wouldn't even known, and just been like snapping pictures of sensitive response plans. We've gone past that.
Have we though?
Way past that.
But have we though?
No, we've gone way past that, because that was like a possibility in a possible security breach that could have happened. This was an actual security breach.
But Kev, I'm saying, could we have gotten past that? Because isn't there an app and a company
No.
that could have totally given North Korea that ability to do that?
I'm literally saying, I'm not saying like, oh, that was worse, and then this is like just par for the course. No, that was at the time, like, we've gone past that where it's actually, we are talking about sensitive battle plans in an app, as opposed to sitting in an unsecured dining room, outdoor dining room, and could be hacked. This can be hacked. And they have access to the archive chats.
I mean, I was giving you
battle plans.
I was giving you a segue.
Oh, I know.
Damn it.
I was just like clarification, but yeah, I did. Well, I saw that segue. I was like, and I just said go. You gotta
fuck your segue, motherfucker. I'm making a point.
I'm making a point. I'm clarifying my point.
Fuck your segue.
Now tap back into the segue. Bring the segue back.
Okay, well, fine. I don't know. I feel like those phones, those Japanese phones, could have been hacked, courtesy of another Israeli company, the NSO Group, who so happens to make Pegasus.
Yeah. I'm just saying, there sure does seem to be a lot of things where it's kind of like, company is out here hacking and doing terrible things with that information. Why do they always seem to come from the same place?
And pain for privilege.
Why do they?
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't know any better, nah, surely not. I
don't know better. If I didn't know better, I would swear that this was a problem.
Okay. I could have sworn, but something, surely not. Surely not.
Nah, they definitely have the right to defend. I'm sorry, I cannot get through that sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't.
What sentence can you get through, Major?
I can't. I legally cannot get through. I physically cannot finish that statement. It would cause me physical pain. Now, if you excuse me, I have to go get something real quick. Yeah. I'm just moving things around, just casually moving things around here. I'm a little cool, a little chilly. I'm gonna get my blanket. Oh, my nice, warm, toasted blanket.
Mm-hmm.
My nice, warm, toasted blanket. It feels so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Sorry, I had to move some things around in the room, and so I can get my nice, warm, toasty blanket, which covers me from the river to the sea.
Mm-hmm.
As some might say.
Yeah.
My toes are definitely free. But yes, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with companies from that specific area that are just doing all the wrong things, but people seem like they have no problem supporting them, even though they are literal threats to national security.
Mm-hmm.
For all this cries of national security, nigga, y'all got hacked multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing? A jury has awarded WhatsApp $167 million in punitive damages in a case the company bought against Israel-based NSO Group for exploiting a software vulnerability that hijacked the phones of thousands of users. The verdict reached Tuesday comes as a major victory not just for Meta-owned WhatsApp, but also for privacy and security rights advocates who have long criticized the practices of NSO and other exploit sellers. The jury also awarded WhatsApp $444 million in compensatory damages. WhatsApp sued NSO in 2019 for an attack that targeted roughly 1,400 mobile phones belonging to attorneys, journalists, human rights activists, political dissidents, diplomats, and senior foreign government officials. NSO, which works on behalf of governments and law enforcement authorities in various countries, exploited a critical WhatsApp vulnerability that allowed it to install NSO's proprietary spyware Pegasus on iOS and Android devices. The clickless exploit worked by placing a call to a target's app. A target did not have to answer the call to be infected. And people ask, why should they care about what's happening in historic Palestine today? Mm-hmm. Because everything that Israel develops to murder innocent Palestinians, to fight people who just want their homes back after it had been stolen from them, that shit comes home. The US pays the money. They do whatever with the money and they get a return on that fucking investment because, hey, that's fucking capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
Cue the soundboard.
Which one? Oh, right. Sorry. Silly me.
Capitalism.
Again, like this, it's showing what NSO group, like, so again, like it's one thing I looked into. I was doing some research. The IOF has a branch where they are bringing in students from the universities to work in the IOF to develop tech like this. And then when they're done with their military service, they go form these companies to then sell the shit that they developed to other nations. You know, some would say fascist nations. And seeing that the US has been buying this shit for decades, if it walks like a duck, looks like a duck, quacks like a duck.
Why are we making fun of ducks? Ducks didn't do anything to deserve to be in this conversation.
You right. But yeah, also like Elbit Systems, what they use to sit there and monitor, track, and then shoot at Palestinians, you know, from turrets. They're bringing that shit over to the US border if it isn't already there. The Israeli government, the Israeli military trains our police forces.
Up City.
It's like at a certain point, you gotta sit there and look, just look, objectively look. It's like all this shit is fucking connected. This shit ain't good for you because once they get rid of who you deem undesirable, they are coming for your ass. So I tell my brothers and sisters out there, y'all go ahead and sit out. Y'all think this shit ain't got nothing to do with you? One, I'm going to tell you, Harris lost votes. Trump did not gain them. So this ain't got nothing to do with people wanting Trump. Let's get that one out. Let's fix that one.
Yeah.
Two, y'all can sit there and be mad with a stick up your ass because she lost, but she wanted this shit too.
A lot of reasons. This was just one. This was just a big one too.
When your beloved leader of choice does not stand up to fascism, what the fuck, man? Like, y'all can co-sign that bullshit all you want, but that ain't me. I was gonna be out in the streets regardless. But yeah, y'all go ahead and y'all gonna sit down with that stick up your ass. And this ain't my fight. I did. Like, no, you didn't.
That's
You
why
wanted
I've
fascism for
always
thee, not for me. Now it's fascism for everybody, baby.
I always say like when people are in the mindset of if you can't them are the people who weren't gonna do it anyway.
No.
But just talk about it but just talk about it. And there are people who are about it, who are either a part of that process, say, I'm not gonna stay. This may not be the fight that I might not have the energy or the gumption for this fight, but I understand why people are out here in these streets and arguably fighting. Stay stay moisturized, stay whatever, but don't get in unless you're not ready to fit in to the work that's really finna help. I'm more on the like I'm going to be making these same. I may not be side to side to you out here with the placards, but I'm definitely going to be out there making sandwiches.
You ain't, but you ain't the person who's sitting there making content. Be like,
right, I'm not my fight. I'm staying home.
See, you ain't doing it. That's why I ain't coming for you. I ain't coming for you because, like, I will admit that was me. Like, I'm where you are during the BLM protests.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't out there because, like, again, immunocompromised.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like, look, if you need something, let me know.
Right. I was basically like, sometimes you just need the quiet soldiers that open the door and be like, I ain't seen nobody. What you mean? Who came here?
Yeah, like if you need a house to dip in, all right, bet.
Right, but there's always, you always gotta understand, like nobody's gonna be in either you're not in the street, but you understand and get the message. You still need to be a sympathetic populace to the problems and the orders and the understanding of what's going on out here, and still be like, yeah, no, I don't like this. I may not be in the placard, but I definitely am on the Twitch stream saying like, I don't like this. And this is not cool.
Like out here on a Wednesday, the day after election, got McDonald's and Starbucks in their hands.
Yeah, and I'm like, that was not me drinking. That was not me. And so it's like, and then I saw that for the performative that it was, and we just kind of moved. I'm like, you can't have everybody in these fights and in these movements with you because they're not gonna work as hard as they think they is.
No, they're never gonna work. That's why I said they called them out.
To the message.
That's why they called us. Look, you can bitch complain all you want. January 10 will come around. Hey, I know you better be.
Be well, be rested, be loved. Don't be out there. Like if you're not about that life, just say you're not about that life. But don't
disparage the movement.
Don't disparage the movement. Like that's always been my thing. When that's
some COINTELPRO shit right there.
That's a psyop. It's a fucking psyop, bro. Yeah. Because like absolutely not.
No.
It would be even more remiss of me to just be like, no, I'm not gonna speak.
Every time I see that Elizabeth Booker woman on Tesla, nope, it's a slide away. No,
no, yeah.
You the
that's what I'm saying.
You the
because there's just some folk that just like, yeah, no, I'm good. Like I just like there's some folk that were very like, rough in the movements and being like, let's come together and break down why this is a problem. And when you are ready to have this conversation in good faith, I know we've kind of like went off, but I'm just saying, like,
my brother.
Yeah, because I'm like, I can't have conversations with people when it's of bad faith, no matter who's on the political spectrum that I'm talking to. If you're not going to see where I come from, and I'm not going to see where you're coming from, there is no such thing as there's no debate in there. And I cannot and will not debate. And that's the one thing where it was like I was listening to Good Sis Imani, Crutches and Spice. And I say this, like, once when it was brought up when she was weighing in on the whole Hassan and Ethan debate, which that was a shit show. I didn't even watch it. I just watched the clips. And
I just know that was mentioned at one point. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on, and just kept moving.
No, you were better off. You were better off.
Thank you.
Because it was a clusterfuck. But I was just saying, like, when you debate on somebody on issues, you make those issues debatable. So, trans rights are debatable. Human, food is a human right, debatable. Gender affirming care is debatable, which my stance on that. Everything is gender affirming care. Everything we do,
a haircut,
hair plugs, a new shirt, shampoo, moisturizer, like Spanx, compression pants, new shoes are all, what is it, gender affirming care? But I digress. But I just say, like, you make these things debatable by debating them. So if you say, when we say genocide is wrong, that's not a debate.
No.
That's not a both. Let's hear both sides on genocide. That's not even it. It's basically saying genocide is wrong, and if you think so, you're a weird. And if you think it is, you're a weirdo. And that's standing on business. That's taking a stand. And so once we take a stand on these issues, like, that's why I say take a stand on these issues to bring it into the realm of tech. I'm a proponent of right to repair. I think right to repair should be a basic right, and they should make, up to a degree, basically like 2 years of support on products. So basically you have 2 years of like items of like repair parts, and then after 2 years you cut off into the next one. Every year should have 2 years of hardware support. Meaning, after we manufacture a little extra, and then after 2 years, you don't get that shit no more. So you have the ability to be able to repair your phone, repair your devices, your console, whatever.
Or just make it easy to open and do those repairs.
And
like it's one thing to have the parts available. It's another thing that's you have the parts available and I can open it.
Right, because when I tell you, it was so hard for me to at least change the thumbsticks on my mineral camo, because I had to get a T9 hex screwdriver. It's the with the hex pattern with the hollow point with the screw hits.
Mm-hmm.
I had to get a screwdriver for that. Luckily, the thumbstick kit that I got had the screwdriver in it. But again, that's important to have too,
mm-hmm.
because somebody may not have that people may not have that screwdriver. Oh, excuse me. So may not have that screwdriver to be able to open it up and like swap out the thumbsticks for that. So that's important. That's important to have.
And that's why I like my Steam Deck. All of them were just
right.
like the screws in that thing are just regular old Phillips.
Right. Gaben realized that, because it made it easier for the people to service it and work with initiative like iFixit to be able to find.
You remember those videos? Remember the videos they put out? Remember the videos they put out when it was about to come out and say, look, if you need to repair your Steam Deck, this is how you do it, but please don't do that.
Right. They were like, you can.
Don't do it.
But you can.
But you can do it. But don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't you do it. But you can.
But you can. It's like a John Oliver joke. Yes, but no. But yes. But no. But yes. No.
And we totally did.
And we totally did. Aha! Like, don't put this. It's like Prohibition. Don't put this brick of like dried grapes into a bucket and put it under your counter for a month, and it might go bad and turn into wine. But don't do it.
Look, it's I remember there's this TikTok that was going around, somebody selling plans for, like, if you want to build a replica of, it was a thing they used in France back in the 1800s.
Oh yeah. Shaver.
It was like a shade. It was like something. I think they were cutting watermelon. They were slicing watermelon with it.
It was a
It's like a giant kitchen utensil.
It was a giant kitchen utensil. Yeah.
It's a giant kitchen utensil. And they would sell you the plate. It was a lemonade stand. That's what it was. It was a lemonade stand.
It was lemonade stand. Yeah. They show you the blueprints how to make your own French lemonade stand.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. But that's what that's what I was saying. Like, right to repair is important, but you should have the ability to have the parts in order to be able to repair that. Because I've been kind of going with this too, with this weird backplate. Because whatever reason, I had to use the old backplate for the new one, and so it's kind of got it's like a mismatched door.
Yeah,
on the back.
Yeah, it's like a door on an Ultima, like on a 90s Ultima.
It's like they took a red door they took a red Ultima door and slapped it on a white Ultima. Like that's what it is. And so that's what I have to use in order to use my my charger, my Razer charger, because for whatever reason, Razer doesn't sell like replacement backplates or extra batteries. You have to buy a whole new charging device, and good luck finding another charging stand.
I mean, again, as I hold this DualSense with no back.
Yeah.
So this shit dies. It dies. Like, again, the definition of fucking e-waste.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, I am like, when I would go out of my way to like go to Staples, and because Staples had the ability to like recycle e-waste, and I would be like, all right, let me take these old printers to Staples while Staples was still alive.
No,
Staples is gone.
I'm sorry.
Now.
Dodge, no. My DualSense is okay. Like, I literally, like, this is what, 4 months old for me? No, this DualSense is fine. But Sony is notorious for selling wireless controllers that do not have replacement batteries. So when the controller dies, that's it.
Yeah, the other place, they allow you to use batteries or third party things for it.
Yes, I am legally obligated to not lift the other controller, even though it is here on my desk.
Right. I showed it to you, but I showed it to you that because I was just making the point
for educational purposes only.
For educational purposes only. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, I'm a proponent of that, and that's not debatable for me.
Yeah.
It's not up for the right to repair. Is not up for debate. Things that I believe, the convictions that I believe in, are not up for debate. And any debate that I have with somebody is already immediately in bad faith, because we're gonna go leave from it just as frustrated as when we started, the same way when what we started. And I think that's why I don't debate people on the internet. I say, here's my one point. Here's a counter. I said what I said. Now, do you want to go with God or go on the other side of this block? Because what I tell people all the time, I'm not going in two directions with people, and that's back and forth. I'm not going those ways with you. But yes, and yeah,
I'll be going forward. Whether you join me, it's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
All that to say,
yes.
Fuck Israel.
I mean, that was implied.
Yeah, but look, I stand no business with that.
Yes.
And it is my First Amendment right to say that, especially about a foreign government.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot believe I still have to make that clear.
American.
But here I am. Talking about a state.
Because that's the thing, though. It's like Americans are very much like, really? We don't bow to foreign governments. We made that clear.
But
we made that clear, and yet it's like it's kind of in our makeup. Like, hello, you my phone.
So I moved the story. That's why you saw the screen shift a little bit. DOGE software engineer's computer infected by info stealing malware.
And they wouldn't even have known it was there. They would. Cause see,
But emails.
But emails though, and that clear.
Also,
community.
I do want to make it clear I am not in support of Hillary Clinton.
No.
But
I feel like all things being considered about what you just said, there was absolutely no need to make that clarification, but we're here.
This is America. This is America.
It's like it's that like Major, have you seen Harlem Nights, right?
Surprisingly, no.
You haven't? Okay.
No.
I'll TLDR it the best way I can.
No, I'm sorry. Wait, I have to address this physical groan that I felt from Sid just now.
Because that's a
I know,
black
and
movie.
I know, and that's why I hate that you asked me the question because it forced me to say something I knew was going to be unpopular.
That's Eddie in his prime. So
I know it's on the list. It's on the list.
But TLDR, it's like a person does something that is bad, gets his hand broken, right? Like there's a physical repercussion. Another person does something remote, like 10 times worse, and causes big problems. Doesn't get his hand person. To the person who had his hand broken, he's looking at his hands like, wow, I got my hand broke for less. Damn. Man's like literally kills the organization, and like, man, damn, but I got a broken hand though.
Merge. So
yeah, that's what
I have made no statements that would even lead to that conclusion that I've carried one or cared to have. Because again, black people are not a monolith, and if I have to have a card, maybe.
You don't have the card, but the card's always on you. It's like
throw it in the garbage. It's like a monkey paw.
No, it's like the ticket. It's like the ticket from Polar Express. It's always in you.
Damn.
You don't know you have it until somebody asks for it. Then you reach in the pocket and then it's there.
How the fuck?
Like, what?
I threw this away.
When did I have this actual black card in my pocket? I've had this whole time. You put it back, it disappears. You don't know where it went.
I thought my black card was my Cash App card.
Yeah, mine too.
Kyle Shaw is a 30-something-year-old software engineer who, according to DropSite News, gained access in February to a core financial management system belonging to the Federal Emergency Management Agency. FEMA.
As it happens,
As an employee of DOGE, Shutt accessed FEMA's proprietary software for managing both disaster and non-disaster funding grants. Under his role as CISA, he likely is privy to sensitive information regarding the security of civilian federal government networks and critical infrastructure throughout the U.S.
Go ahead and read the last couple of sentences in that article for me, thanks.
Representatives of CISA and the Department of Homeland Security, the agency that oversees CISA, didn't meet. Oh, wait, it's not that one. Okay, I'm sorry, this one here. At this point, it's difficult not to suspect their awful OPSEC is a choice, and that there are specific people, the Russians, to whom they're leaking secrets, with incompetence being merely plausible deniability for their true treasonous agenda, one critic wrote on Mastodon.
And all I'm going to say is, and we fucking told you. And that is it. Those last couple of sentences are my full commentary on the article. Thank you.
again, when this is merit-based hiring, also allegedly the smartest man in the world only wanting to hire the best and brightest. And this is what we get from all of that.
Best. They're not getting their best.
Yeah, like they are not hiring their best and their brightest.
Everybody loves meritocracy until it's.
I mean, the thing is, merit. You said they're not hiring their best and their brightest. Maybe they are.
Oh,
I mean,
the best that they can find. Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
it's their best and their brightest, not the best and the brightest.
Right. The ones that answered the phone call, you know.
Because allow me to, and you're like, right. In case we need the reminder, right? This comes after like months of like DEI repeals, right? And you're talking about the best and the brightest, right? That's what we're talking about here. So I would just like to remind everybody on the podcast that the best and the brightest would probably be the people who invented gas mask, stoplights, open heart surgery, caller ID, and developed like the main parts of like tech infrastructure and the internet as we currently know it. And so on and so forth, including, because we're all gamers here, most of the modern, like the foundation for all the modern systems that we use for cartridge-based systems. So between all of that, right, when we're talking about the best and the brightest that we could have hired to do things, we didn't talk, we're also not including people who did the literal math calculations that took us into space. We're not talking about any of those people.
Nope.
Right? So when I say that might be their best and their brightest, I do really actually and literally mean that, because if they were looking for the best and the brightest, none of those people would be in the room. That's all.
They wouldn't be in the room and they wouldn't have picked up the phone. Like they made a call probably on Twitter and we were like, hey,
they made a call, and the only reason that they were able to identify the number was not represented in the room of the people that they hired. Do you understand? Like,
yes. They went to like WD they were in WWC DC and they were in the audience and they were like, who wants to start a tech revolution? They were like, "Oh, me."
I'm sorry, if you're answering a phone call that was made that was being made by Elon Musk, yeah, you already failed.
Yeah, you were not smart, because no. But that they don't want to answer, you know. They picked up the phone. They were like, "Oh, okay."
Speaking of Musky Musk,
oh, yeah.
Go fascist, go cashless, baby. Musk politics see Tesla sales collapse in Europe.
It's like Europe doesn't want fascists. Who knew?
I mean, you think that was a smart idea, but
you would think that Europe would look at possible fascism on the rise and say, "Yeah, that's a no, dog." It's that line in Squid Game that I have not seen. I've not seen the show, but I remember the line. Like, I played this game before. I said I played this game before.
Last month, Tesla sold just 512 cars in the UK and 885 cars in Germany.
Wait, repeat that number again.
512 cars in the UK and 885 in Germany.
I'm telling you right now, if you sell less cars per country than a high performing Marietta dealership in a year, yeah, something's wrong, dog.
without reading the description, you could tell that this car was a part of a UK protest
Yeah.
because Belland.
Belland. Yep. One thing I would give UK a lot of credit. Their insults are pretty crisp. Yeah, mop it.
I have no more for this, but I do have some required viewing for this. Give me 1 second while I go pull that up. Put it in here. Oh. There we go. I'm gonna switch this back over. The UK, I mean, say what you want for the French in protesting, but the UK, they got ideas.
I mean, UK be doing the trucks, you know? You know the trucks, right?
No.
The trucks with the screens on it. And they pull up to like outside the House of Commons, and they just like start blasting like a documentary off the side of a truck.
I see some of those here in the US too.
Yeah.
Also speaking of UK protests, apparently Gal Gadot was shooting a film in the UK and they gave her no peace.
I was so mad when she was going to be the evil queen, because I was thinking to myself, why couldn't the evil queen not be the British lady from Ted Lasso? Such a missed opportunity.
Love the fact that the plate had fascism on it.
Yep. This man remind me of the old man from Battleship. For the best scene in that movie. Just like, okay.
Her whole career is money washing. Yeah, I can see that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's all I got for this one. But in more Tesla news,
the only thing I have to say about that article is go team go.
Yep.
Yep.
In more Tesla news, excuse me, jeez, this medicine. The United States Patent and Trademark Office, there we go, refuses Tesla Robotaxi trademark as merely descriptive.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Tesla, you're boring.
Mm-hmm.
As spotted by Sean O'Kane. I'm sorry?
Are we talking about the patent office article? Ha 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 ha.
As spotted by Sean O'Kane at TechCrunch, the United States Patent and Trademark Office has informed Tesla that it will not be allowed to trademark the word Robotaxi to describe the vehicle. According to the USPTO, the term is far too generic. Indeed, a Google Ngram search shows a steady growth in the use of Robotaxis starting more than a decade ago.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention they got slapped on the hand for trying to pull up Cybercab, and I'm like, girl, shut up. You also need to fix the fact that you have to have like human intervention for your quote unquote autopiloted cars every 13 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I would still prefer that. Like, I need people to pay attention to the fucking road.
Yeah.
I mean, by extension, maybe what you need is just like a human in the car, not a human teledriving the car.
That is also true.
Since we're here, but if you're going to try to make a car to do all of the razzle dazzle, it shouldn't have to like need someone to just go, hey, let me check on this and make sure someone doesn't run off the road every 13 miles. 13 miles is the distance from me to the nearest airport.
Because even in the future, cars need to have steering wheel.
I mean, I will also just point out the fact that maybe we shouldn't have as many cars, but you know. Should have some walkable cities, better public transit, but you know.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to see if I can find a scene that happens in an anime that I've seen, but please continue.
According to the USPTO, the term is merely descriptive. The agency cites evidence from Wikipedia, The Verge, and the Amazon-backed autonomous vehicle startup Zoox in its denial of Tesla's trademark application. Perhaps even more inconveniently for Tesla, it will have to find a new name for the car itself. Tesla's attempt to trademark Cybercab was also rejected in large part due to the potential for confusion. Although Tesla applied for a trademark last October after revealing the vehicle, several other companies have previously registered cyber prefix trademarks, including one for Cybercab issued earlier in 2024. The L's keep coming.
Not enough of them.
Not enough, but
the L's keep coming and they won't stop coming.
Open source project Curl is sick of users submitting AI slop vulnerabilities.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
Open source project Curl is sick of users submitting AI slop vulnerabilities.
And once again, this is everybody's friendly reminder, just for the people in the back. And this, I didn't ask that because I was confused. I just wanted to make sure y'all heard the article title twice while I say this. ChatGPT is not a fucking search engine.
Let's see here. This is Daniel Sternberg saying that he's had it and is putting my foot down on the craziness, suggested that every suspected AI-generated HackerOne report will have its reporter asked to verify if they used AI to find the problem or generate the submission. If a report is deemed AI slop, the reporter will be banned. We still have not seen a single valid security report done with AI help, Sternberg wrote.
I'm going to shut up. I'm going to shut up. I made the one comment I wanted to make about that article. I'm going to shut up.
And apparently this is all coming, again, from the HackerOne service. They're saying HackerOne has fervently taken to AI tools in recent years. One platform, dual force, human minds plus AI power, the firm's homepage reads. Actually haven't used Google in a while. It's been nice getting results I actually look for. Let's see, answer unasked questions. One report from May 4th that Sternberg wrote pushed me over the limit, suggested a novel exploit leveraging stream dependency cycles in the HTTP 3 protocol stack. Stream dependency mishandling, where one aspect of a program waits for the output of another aspect, can lead to malicious data injection, race conditions, and crashes and other issues. The report in question suggests this could leave Curl, which is HTTP 3 capable, vulnerable to exploits up to and including remote code execution. But as the Curl staff points out, the malicious server setup patch file submitted did not apply to the latest version of a Python tool in question. Asked about this, the original submitter responded in a strangely prompted-like fashion, answering questions not asked by Curl staff. What is a cyclic dependency? And included what seemed like basic instructions on how to use the Git tool to apply a new patch. The submitter also did not provide the requested new patch file, cited functions that do not exist in underlying libraries, and suggested the hardening tactics for utilities other than curl. Curl coders eventually closed the report, but also made it public to serve as an example.
Comment from chat here from Merge Conflict. The curl bug was wild. AI hallucinated an entire function with a bug and then reported it. Also from Ruin, I would lose my shit if people were sending me this.
Mm-hmm.
And today is another day ending in Y, in which it has been made abundantly clear to me why I have not been given any form of superpowers or like supernatural abilities. This is why I do not have them.
I wonder if I can find. I bet this has probably been buried, but I am hoping I can still find it in this Discord somewhere. I'm probably looking in the wrong place now too. So I shared the picture, but not the actual post for it. And it's probably, yeah, it's probably, I'm probably looking at the wrong server. Because it was from an indivisible post that somebody shared. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck even is, like, no.
Mm.
Yeah, shit, I don't know where the fuck it went. Not indivisible. Okay, yep, nope, I found it. And of course it was on Substack. Skip. Now I'm going to show you this. It's not great. So apparently there was a Zoom event for an indivisible org. As a matter, no, actually it's coming up on May 14th and May 30th. So you can still go. First, I want you to feast your eyes on this image. That is 100% AI generated.
Oh yeah. Didn't have time, just slapped it together. Didn't have time, didn't even try to like run it through and clean it up. None of that.
Like, I looked at this, the traffic light. Like, what is this traffic light doing? Then I looked at all the American flags that have way more than 50 flags. I mean, 50 stars.
Yeah. What I'm assuming to be like a combination food truck and ambulance.
None of these posters have anything legible on them.
Mm-hmm. That's the first tell.
Yeah, that's always the first.
Like, can I read it? What are their fingers doing?
Like, the fact that the Statue of Liberty has one eye?
Yeah. Sure.
Not sure who these two brothers are, but the one on the left has got like a little stubby hand. But even from the text, Wait, I'm sorry. What is use AI links to explain and elaborate on the meaning and implications of any big word, new jargon, ethical question, science, and did they? No, they didn't. What is happening? Experience small group microdose dialogue sessions to begin a AI learning journey to understand and address our complex entanglement of self-inflicted wicked problems.
Self-inflicted wicked problems, indeed.
I could have sworn I've read this before, but no, that's what it was. Somebody clip this part of it's this paragraph that somebody posted in that Discord server. We can use human AI enabled emancipatory neo learning to zoom toward co-creating simple rules and first principles and zoom out to increasing degrees of complexity to deconstruct alt-right cult media indoctrination and unravel DTMP. What in the fuck are you saying?
That's what the AI said. A human didn't write this. Take time for slow thinking and deep learning about complexity. Take time for slow thinking and deep learning.
This is when I tell people, like from a tech standpoint, and as someone who, again, likes to work with creators and like to support creators, actual human beings.
Slow thinking and deep learning?
Yes. The Democrats are not here to help you because they are using, instead of, like, I'm pretty sure there are plenty of people in the indivisible movement, one who could write copy.
I'm sure at least one or two retirees could have written out something like that.
But like, also, I know there are plenty of fucking artists.
You mean to tell me that, like, nobody couldn't have just tapped this together? And the thing that got me, like, scroll back down again, where it says like something about complexity. Scroll down a bit. Something about complex. They're right there. How might we the complexity concept of simple rules? Question mark? Like, how might we the complexity concept of simple rules? It's throwing me, and I'm trying to read the words because I'm trying to read it right, but also wrong as it's written.
How might we cultivate equity, meta governance, co-create fair rules, fair plays, fair games, fair opportunities, and fair rewards on a regenerating planet to benefit all? We have finite resources on this earth. Y'all, the Democrats are so fucking steeped in capitalism.
Simple rules set precise parameters to guide and not to prescribe the decision-making processes that enable agile learning to manage the complexity of taking on our wicked challenge, such as cultivating equity meta governance to solve our wicked problems. Meta governance.
What?
Nobody read this.
Nobody read this. I didn't even read this initially, and now I'm like perplexed as like, wow, this is something I saw like it had been like a month ago at this point.
Like, follow your curiosity to learn what you want to learn and understand about vulnerability. What the fuck? Nobody wrote this. Zoom out. In out from complexity. From complexity to simplicity and back.
I can't believe somebody
right.
shared this on
should be writing some of these
on the
down.
GSUS Discord server. I did
should
not
be
realize
writing this down.
how bad this was.
And is that Eddie? What the is that Eddie with Uncle Sam? for those who are unfamiliar, there is a character in the Iron Maiden. His name is Eddie, and he looks like that. And I was reminded of that not too long ago because I was about to buy some Iron Maiden socks.
Oh my god!
But didn't, and bought some Tootsie Roll instead.
Call in the human AI enabled emancipatory neo-learning. No! Get that word out your motherfucking mouth!
Call in human AI enabled emancipatory neo-learning revolution. That's just hard to say, man. That ain't even a fun phrase. That's not even like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That's not even fun. That's just a jumble.
Oh my god.
That's not those fun words to say where it's just like tantamount. Psychological indoctrination.
I want to comment on this so bad.
Nah, I bet you
Like,
don't.
bro, what the fuck, dude?
I mean, bro, we're already making it on the podcast.
No, I need this person to know personally. What are you doing?
Not reading this apparently. Do you know how hard as a writer that I sit there and it pains me to like write something down, and the worst thing is like I either do like a run-on sentence, or I misspell something, or I use too many words to say, good. Or, I try to like spice it up with something from the thesaurus. But this actually just makes me feel better about writing now. Like, this has reinfigured my writing ability, because if somebody could literally write this and it's on
how dare they put a sister in the front of this AI Slop image.
Yeah. So it really invigorates my my need to write again. Like, it reinvigorates my need to write again, because yeah. Ugh. And they want people to write art, and they want AI to write articles.
Sages on the stage.
Cause it's like it's one of those things where it's like you're trying to figure out a way to say a word without saying a word, or for example, and then you would probably use AI to say like, how would I explain it in this way, and then AI will try to attempt that to kind of give you a bit of an understanding about.
Oh, this is Substack's Twitter account or Twitter.
Yeah,
like it
thing.
it literally is just like, here's my best guess about the thing that you're looking for in the form of an answer to a question. And it's kind of like, that's not what I asked you to do. But never minding that, it all needs to burn.
Right. But this is like, you're saying like, write this in the vein of a leftist, and this is what you get.
Make America truthful again, but all your shit is AI slop.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I have to, man. I can't let this stand.
I mean, you'll do what you do, but
Here's the thing. I know that you can't let this stand, but what I'm going to ask you to do
Let
is
it
to
stand.
like, it's to segue into the next article while you plot on your plans for world domination.
Right. I would
This is
say,
how revolutions start.
What's that?
This is how revolutions start. Child, they're taking away your actual human rights in real time. This is not going to be it, baby.
Why is that ambulance has 2 crosses in the back? You know?
Why is it a dirt
Okay.
race?
You know what? Hey,
Fine.
I'm gonna never mind these. I'm gonna never mind these two. They're doing a thing. Do y'all want anything from the kitchen? I'm gonna go get some chips and salsa.
Look, we're in gaming now. We're in gaming.
Yeah.
I've walked away.
Yeah. I would say stick a pen in that and write about it.
Oh.
In gaming news,
Polygon got purchased by a dude who co-founded Brazzers.
Yep.
And subsequently laid off most of the staff.
Yep.
Yeah, I need venture capital and all the related, and private equity firms to die in the form of a baseball cage. If you play Danganronpa, you know exactly what scene I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. I've heard. I have friends that do, and I am familiar.
So the company that bought Polygon from Vox Media is now is Valnet. Apparently Valnet owns The Gamer, Collider, Comic Book Resources, MovieWeb, Screen Rant, Game Rant, XDA developers, and make use of.
And like the layoffs were immediate, so I remember like seeing all of that happen, and then immediately, seeing like a whole bunch of people posting like, "Hey, this is what happened that day." Almost immediately, and I hate that for everybody involved.
Wait, why am I blocking the blue sky with Privacy Badger? Oh, I guess who would have known? Blue Sky would have done the same fucked up bullshit Twitter would do. Like if the EFF says it's bad, 9 times out of 10 it's bad. So yeah, pour one out for the real ones.
Yep.
Polygon is effectively no more. Giant Bomb, I did remove the Giant Bomb sword mainly because the fact that it's not like nothing structurally changed from management outside of some brand safety guidelines, which the guys over at Giant Bomb railed into and got in trouble. And they're like, okay, fuck that shit. If we can't do what we were doing before, which I mean, may have been problematic, but not on the same level as a lot of other games media personalities.
I mean, to be fair, if we really truly think about it with our, if we do some slow learning and deep thinking. Stop it. Giant Bomb was in its inception became Giant Bomb because Jeffy G got fired for his review and handling of a Lynch and Kane game, which was a sponsored content for GameSpot, and then thus him going on his own and taking his crew with him to then forming Giant Bomb and then having that. So
I'm sorry, I'm gonna need you to write that down somewhere.
What I just
your
said?
new phrase.
Yeah,
I forgot it already. Was it slow thinking and deep learning?
Yeah, slow thinking and deep learning. Yeah.
If these podcasts had episode titles,
if they did have it,
I do add them. I do add them when I share them to like social media. So I'm gonna need you to write that one down so I can reference it later when I share it, because I need to.
I'll type that in.
Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, it's that was that. So it's basically you thinking, it's like you assuming that these people would be establishment. You know, you would think that these people being establishment, when in their inception, they pretty much just said, "We are not establishment."
Yeah.
Like you would that's your that is your bad. That is your misunderstanding. Because like I and you and many of us were around and invested in games media enough to know when that happened, when Jeffy G got fired.
I remember the news around it, but I did not know about that until they came back to CBS. Right. And then when it was talked about, I said, oh shit, that was you? Oh fuck.
Yeah.
I do remember the controversy then. I didn't know who was behind it and what happened to them, because in 2008, that was sophomore year in college, and I wasn't really following games media to that extent. Yeah, so I know who was who.
Right, games media was not really the cult of personalities. It was until about like 2012, 2013.
Yeah, like when Twitter became a thing.
When Twitter became a thing, yeah. So it was
I didn't have enough magazines to know who Dan. Like I heard of Dan Shu. Right. I could give two shits about Dan Shu when I was reading magazines. Like, look, I just need somebody to tell me about this game.
Right. And then most of the time it was like you saw these people because you were like, man, I want to know how like the new Uncharted game is gonna play.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, oh, it's Jeffy G. And I like him. I like how he talks. Say the words. Like, but really didn't get into like the cult of personality. The cult of personality until like 2012 and 2013 when YouTube became like a viable thing for people instead of like a way to watch anime AMVs and like part 3 of like Bleach.
For me it's like reading. I didn't think about the person, and like that's a very shitty thing for me to say. Right. But like it wasn't until video. And I was like, oh, okay, like these are people, apparently. Like it's like object permanence. It's like, oh shit, these are people.
It's like
I should actually care about them.
It's like instead of like writing credits, it was mostly like your platform, your game platform of choice was talking about the game that you like and giving the person who actually played it and wrote it and reviewed it writer's credit. It would be like, it's like it wouldn't be no different if you read an op-ed in the paper or you read like the sports column and then you seen like like Whitey Kane talking about the news. Like
I would not know who you are. Like right. I often think about Everybody Loves Raymond. It's like I don't think I would, like, for so many people who are like, oh my god, Ray Romano, you're my favorite sports writer. Like Ray Barone, you're my favorite sports writer. Like I don't think I would even know who that person was or would care. Right. But he also writes a column, and I think people are reading his column specifically, and that may add credence to it. And like again, like that's why I think I know who Dan Shu was.
He's popping in the circles where people actually like what he has to say.
But if you were just like writing about a sport, if you were writing about a game, like just as like a beat writer, I don't think that many people care that much.
Right.
So it's like, when I was reading magazines, the few times I read the magazines, because my parents were not buying me game magazines like that. Like I read what I could read. I could care less who wrote it. But like with YouTube, I can actually become more invested with the person. As I like what they're saying. I like, because like now I'm actually paying attention to how they say it, what they're saying about it. It's not just like reading it and just for information.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, thank you.
Don't do that, Mary.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Shaq. I'm a Shaq person. Thank you. No, I'm a Kitty Smith guy. Thank you. Wrong Smith. Kitty Smith.
No, you're Doc. You just sans the bow tie.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
You have the information. You actually are talented, but you know what
like the one
about.
guy who knows what the fuck he's talking about, surrounded by goofballs.
Right? Yeah. It's like, damn, I gotta actually come in with.
No, excuse me, not even Doc. I am a David Aldridge fan. Thank you.
Yes.
The guy who gets constantly skipped when playing NBA 2K because you just want to get to the game.
Yes.
Thanks, Dave.
Yes. Why you have to sit in there and watch like Shaq fall out of a chair, and like Chuck talking about the big women from Galveston. They got the big old women in Galveston now, and I'm like,
I watched NBA for the first time in probably like 3 years last week, and was like, what the fuck am I doing here? I hate that I did not bring my Steam Deck to this sleep study because it fucking sucks.
Mm-hmm. People have said that the NBA has gone down, but
it's not great.
But that's a story for another time.
Yeah, we're not a sports podcast. We're a political podcast.
We're
allowed one pivot a year.
We're a political podcast that talks about tech.
We're allowed one pivot a year. Check it next year. We might be a sports podcast.
Yeah, at this point. Yeah.
As much as they keep saying, "Oh no, the gaming industry is destroyed." Like, okay, yeah, keep looking at AAA.
Gaming, like I said, gaming is not dead. The indie space is living and thriving.
Exactly. Like, please stop.
What are you talking? What are we talking about?
Are we?
Yes. Sid, you'll get Silksong. You'll get it. They said 2025.
They
Game stuff is dead. Meanwhile, the games that like just swept most of the categories when we watched our most recent Game Awards were Balatro and fucking Astrobot. Please shut up. I am tired of saying the same 5 things for 2 years consecutively. Shut up.
And when I told you I was so locked in Balatro, and I told y'all when they play the Balatro theme orchestrally, I'm not gonna be good. And I was true to my word, because I was not well.
It's just like one of those, this is happening and this is happening. Now, is the games industry in like a desperate situation, generally speaking? Yes, those things are to be said because, new job applicants are entering the market every single day, and they are like very talented people, and it's happening for absolutely no reason except for people who are entirely too greedy, who don't know how to do those jobs. But I digress.
Oh wait, I got a button for that.
Capitalism.
But then on the other side of it, y'all act like because you're reading these reports and seeing like this half of a thing, myopic thing where the only money that you think is worth spending is on AAA games, you're missing a whole bunch of things where there are wins and creativity and people are building things, and those things are really cool, interesting, worth your time, energy, effort, money, and attention, generally speaking. Right? All of that stuff exists, and it is winning awards, and it's getting acclaim, and it's making decent money too while we're at it. So like, both of those things exist in the same timeline and universe. We need to get into the whole walking while chewing bubblegum at the same time.
And if I may, a lot of those companies would have these wonderful, great, interesting games that would like shock the system if they had actually just put skin in the game and created creator funds of like studios who need them, and help studios to like bring games to market, or give access, like an EA Originals, to be able to just make these type of games that kind of like let his money go nuts. Like, we pulled money from the Apex budget to fund these interesting games and make sure they get out there, because we want the next It Takes Two.
No, they don't. They want the next Apex Legends, Battlefield, Call of Duty, Fortnite. They don't want the next It Takes Two. The numbers show that, Kev.
But the numbers show that, but the awards don't.
Also, the numbers don't show that. Also, the numbers just don't show that either.
Doesn't show that either, because The It Takes Two makes money too.
Or the fact that or the fact that Split Fiction abundantly exceeded EA's expectations.
Balatro
like, oh shit.
Balatro made $2 million within 6 months.
Like y'all just
and they were on a handicap.
And they were on a handicap.
There are just things that are it's just right there. Yeah. You know, it's right there. It's easy to spot if you have the willingness to just look, maybe even I'm gonna use non-US measurements. If you just want to look like a couple of meters, a couple of kilometers beyond the little circle that you're in where Call of Duty and Soulsborne's games live, you would probably find other equally interesting things. They're out there.
Somebody bought this up, I think Friday when we were talking about Claire Obscura on Split Fridays. Mm-hmm. It was literally inside the house.
Right.
Ubisoft had the ability to make Claire Obscura, but they didn't want it. The dude left.
Yep.
And now there's this huge ass game out.
It's like
that again is thriving.
Thriving. I played it and it looks like shit on the Steam Deck. But I am so like, okay, you know what? I'm here for this. I cannot wait till I play this on a proper PC. So I can see what this game looks like.
Yeah, it's like...
and that game is unbelievably fucking French.
It's very French.
That game is so fucking French.
I mean, it should just be like Oui, the simulator. Like,
Merge is also correct, though. It would not be the same game.
It would not be the same. It would not be
so,
the same.
So, you know what? Like, as much as Ubisoft dropped the ball, maybe we should thank them for dropping the ball.
Sometimes you just got to be like, you know what? I'm glad.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of this kind of missed. I'm glad that Ubisoft didn't take it because they would have monetized it up the eyeballs, and it wouldn't have been the same. It wouldn't have been the same type of game. That's why I'm like it's like somebody mentioned like everybody was Balatro, but Balatro could not live in the AAA space. Balatro lives because one guy said, I'm going to make this game. I'm going to make a poker roguelite. And nobody would have said, what do you mean a poker roguelite?
Wait.
And it made sense.
I'm sorry, wait. Did Ubisoft call Prince... I hear you, Kev, but I'm just respond. I need to respond. Ubisoft called Prince of Persia a flop? That 2D side-scroller one?
Because again, it wasn't gonna make the money that they wanted in their metrics, and that was the point.
I heard that game was great. I mean, I think I own that game because I want to play it. But
I've watched the game. And I've seen the game. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. Yeah, but it's just like, but again, there's like it's
wild. Just fucking wild.
It's that whole thing of games got to make all the money. And if they don't make all the money, it like, oh, that didn't pay its budget 10 times over. Got to be a flop. It paid all of its money off plus two times. No, we can't have that.
And it's like constantly wanting every game to make more money, and then also making 10 times more money than it took for you to generate it. But you're also it's a lot. It's silly.
It's stupid.
It's stupid, and that's why I can say confidently, some of y'all need to get up out the rat race that is the AAA and join us in the AA indies. Like that's where it is now.
I mean, for me, I like all games that I can get into, right?
True.
And sure, Kev knows something about me.
Yes.
That happened recently.
Yeah,
I've shared it.
Yeah.
I know there are people here who have not heard it, but you know, we'll touch on that later. Eventually I'll find my way into those spaces.
Yeah.
But I still like the AAA stuff. I just like, for me, it's where that socialism aspect comes in, where it's like, there is the ability to make these games. We do not have to spend this much. We do not have to be charging this much to be doing the things that we are doing. But because we're chasing infinite growth in a finite world, We are getting to a point where games are $80. We're getting to a point where like a flop, like a game selling 5 million copies is a flop. We should not be here, but this is where we are. I feel like saying that maybe we should focus on indies and not AAA is like, that's a cop out. It's a thing where it's like, I don't know, maybe AAA shouldn't cost us damn much. Maybe we can have good looking games with not as many people.
So like the thing is, I feel like it's not like one or the other. It's like both of these things need to exist.
It's literally. I'm not saying like it can all exist, and I could truly understand, that like AAA has purpose, that indies and AA's and stuff.
Yo,
but
I need, by the way.
Right. But I just need y'all to truly when I say you got to get off of that, it's like you need to get off of the fact that gaming is dead and jump, because the game that you play, the game in the AAA space, is like going to a direction that you're not willing to go. Like say when it comes to $8 games, variable pricing, full of microtransactions, full of microtransactions, live service, like end of service dates. Like it's basically you gotta let some of that go. Be excited, be hyped, be excited, but you also got to be like, I'm not paying $80 for a game. I'm not buying a game that has like bad business practices. I'm not buying live service, and jump in and support the indie and the AAA games, like a Split Fiction, like a Split Fiction,
I think
that's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying, we should not be like thinking that gaming is dead because there's all these live services when people are still buying live services games.
I think it's a thing of being like, when people say gaming is dead, it's always, it's one of those things about the internet in general, right? A friend of mine used to call it like a whole syndrome, where people just walk around saying that, like it just becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because so many people say it, and instead of acting in a way that contributes to the health and growth of the things that they want to see in the world, they just constantly like don't pay attention to things and say things negatively until the point that they don't exist anymore, because the developers are like, if y'all are just going to continue doing this, then what are we making games for? And they decide to do something else. Now the thing about pricing, right? On the one hand, what I see at AAA games is, do they need to cost that much? No, they don't. The end. Like I am like, and when I say, do they need to cost that much? Most of it is that pricing and stuff isn't necessarily relative to, here's what it took for us to make the game. This is what it took to make the game, and this is also how much we as the shareholders want to make above and beyond whatever this stuff is. And like, that's not necessary.
And like, I feel like they would.
I think to that extent, it isn't necessary.
Yeah, I feel like they will come up with they would have this talking point saying like, well, we're not charging more overhead than what we normally would. It's the cost of development, which is like, yeah, the development cost to go up, but also you could just eat that cost.
Yeah, you just eat that. You're at a position where you could really truly just eat that.
And like that's the issue. It's not so much like the cost of game development stayed the same, but they want more. It's the fact that the game development costs went up. The shareholders want more, so they don't want to sit there and take less.
Right. So,
but then again,
the thing is, when you're talking about eating things, right? When I think about eating something, I'm thinking about them taking losses in the games that they're making.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We're not even talking. We're not. But like, what I'm thinking about isn't talking about them being like, hey, you should take a loss for the games that you are making. It is, maybe you could stand to just make $5 billion instead of $10 billion.
Well, then we're saying the same thing.
I mean, like, the thing is, it feels different, right? Like, they're still making like this ridiculous amount of money that most of us are never going to see or even be able to conceptualize in our lifetime. Like, what does loss look like when it's just like, oh, well, I mean, you could have made $10 billion more dollars than you needed to, but you just made $5 billion more than you needed to. Emphasis here, more than you needed to. It would be different if y'all were even breaking even. Y'all aren't even doing that. Here is the break even point, and y'all are still in outer space. What are we talking about?
Right. Yeah. Like, I mean, again, like, just to clarify, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, not saying like they take a loss on the game. I'm talking about they taking a loss on them profits.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't make as many profits. Oh no.
You see, and this is the thing, right? The idea of loss, right, is this is what you were, and I'm going to put this in these words for a very specific reason. This is what you were supposed to have, and you didn't get it. Y'all, this is the market. Profit's not guaranteed to y'all because you made a game, because you are good at animation, or because you have talented people working for you. That's not what that is, right? Like, obviously, you plan, you strategize, and all this other stuff, but that 10 billion, 5 billion, 2 billion, $2 for that matter isn't guaranteed when you put this game out.
I will make a counterpoint. They should make that money because they have talented people. They shouldn't make that money because they want to just see increased profits. So they increase profit margins by cutting things. I feel like if a game can sell 5 million copies, then they sold it because they have talented staff making a game.
Talented staff making a staff making a compelling game, right?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
yes, because they have the good people. Yes, they should be selling that many copies. They should make that much money. It is the return on investment part, that profit. No, you don't deserve the profit, as much profit as you would have gotten.
And that is the part there where you're talking up, like, it's the deserving part.
Yeah, you don't deserve the profit. But if you made a good game, then yes, you deserve those sales.
Because that's what loss means. I was supposed to have something and I don't have it. Like, that's what that means. And like,
I don't give a shit.
Y'all aren't owed any of that.
No.
Profit forever and always is icing on a cake. It is icing on a cake. It's one of those, sure, you have like the market presence and the history and you've built on all this stuff, and therefore it's reasonable to expect that if you did one really cool thing, people are going to want more cool things from you or whatever. Fine, that's fine. But like, the idea that there is money that y'all are owed and this is where we come back to things you said earlier about like, y'all sold 5 million copies in like half a year, and you think this game is a flop because it didn't do twice that number in that amount of time? For what?
Fuck you.
For what?
Just fuck you.
No.
Fuck you.
Now, on the other side of things, where it comes, that's for AAA stuff. When it comes to indie games, the thing I love about indie games is that it's one of those things that whenever I see it, right, it is a thing that expands our imagination for what games people will enjoy. It gives people time to do things that are fun and whimsical and just experience something new. Usually that is a closed experience, which is great for people like me, you, everybody on the screen who are just like, hey, I'm a whole adult with a life and I have to pay bills. I have a limited amount of time to do these things. I can't play, every game I play cannot go on forever. And so you get cute little fun games that take you like 15-minute rounds to play or whatever, and then you can do other things with your day and you just enjoy the experience and you want to come back to it however many times. Things like Balatro, Slay the Spire, Vampire Survivors,
those two are
Astrobot, Dead Cells, like these things.
Balatro and Vampire Survivors are not on that list of things you can easily walk away from. I'm sorry. They're not.
There are things that Major has a hard time walking away from, but me, not so much.
Thank you.
What I'm going to say here, right, is like, Look,
I could walk away from WoW.
I mean, there you go. Now, that being said, the thing that indies suffer from, and this is the balance of things, is people feel like when people say you need to pay more money for indie games, they feel like that logic should also apply to AAA games. It's like AAA games don't need that. This studio over here is like 5 whole people with a garage project that you really enjoyed. You need to be telling your mom, your friends, and your mom's friends, and honestly speaking, you were about to drop $60 on Animal Crossing 4. You know what I mean? I feel if Balatro were like an additional plus $5 or $10 for that game, it would still be worth purchasing. Go and buy the game.
Yeah, I'm really tempted. Like, so I am playing Balatro. So yes, the news is I am playing Balatro. It took me this long, but yes, I am here.
Yep.
I decided to give it another go when I resubscribed to Apple Arcade. So I'm playing the Apple Arcade version of that game.
And cuss out Kevin behind it, by the way.
Because he doomed me to this life. By constantly talking about it. Wouldn't let me forget it.
Yep.
But honestly, it actually took me stopping reading. That's really what it was. It's okay. This is how this game works. Oh shit! It's been 5 hours.
Yep.
My iPad was charged when I started this, and now it's dead.
Oh yeah.
I've watched all of Andor, and the time it's taking me to play Balatro.
Oh yeah.
Anywho, yeah, like so. Yeah, I am playing the Apple Arcade version of Balatro, but yeah, I might just turn around and buy it on just the App Store just to buy it now. I don't think there's a difference between the two. It like it says Balatro Plus on Apple Arcade, but I mean when you launch the game, it just says Balatro. It doesn't look like there's any difference between the two apps.
No, it's just on the thing.
I am glad it is on the tablet. That is a perfect tablet mobile game.
Oh yeah, I play it. I play it on Sundays because Sundays are for tablets. And because it's just so easy for me to just like pick up the tablet, play a game, and then put it back down again. Because
I might take some Apple Arcade suggestions because like when I first subbed to it, there wasn't a lot, and I played a good chunk of those games. But admittedly, there's been a lot of games that have hit Apple Arcade that are pretty decent, and I would like to try. But I like tablet games that are tablet games.
Yes.
Not ones that have like on-screen controls or that will use a controller, because I'm playing on that couch. And sure, I can mount my iPad. I can set up my iPad and pull out a controller if I want to, but I don't want to have to do that.
Yeah, that's how I felt. That's how I felt about Hello Kitty Island Adventure, where it was like I just could not bring myself to like. I couldn't play it for long because it was like I had to pull the controller out. But at that point, I might as well have just waited and got a copy on my Steam Deck and played it on that, which I can because it's on PC now.
Like I want to play that. I kind of want to play that Katamari Damacy game that came off Apple Arcade, but that is I feel like for me that not like it is a controller game.
Yes.
So like it's either controller or on-screen controls, and I'm like. I don't want to play those games. Now
you as an old Katamari soldier, you're gonna need a controller.
Like where is it? There it is.
Yeah.
Like I've got the backbone, but this is for the Lightning iPhone. Yeah. So like now again e-waste. So it's like I can't really use this anymore. Granted that new they got a new one. I'm not gonna buy that though because again it's just I don't know. I really thought I was gonna be iPhone gaming with this thing and it did not last very long.
Yeah.
But maybe hey, if somebody wants a backbone. Anywho, man, that Polygon article took us places.
Yeah, it did.
Mm-hmm.
Prime Gaming get 22 games in May. Star Wars Galactic Battleground Saga, Lego Star Wars, Styx, The Invisible Hand, Fascist Killing Simulator, Wolfenstein 2, Amnesia Rebirth. Yes.
No, I just had a note there. Never mind.
Hypnospace Outlaw, Doors Paradox, Saints Row Get Out of Hell, Endless Legend Definitive Edition, Golf with Your Friends, Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen 2, Mail Time.
Oh, I know that.
Fate, Thief 2, The Metal Age, Everdream Valley, Chessorama, the Lost Ashford Ring, Samurai Bringer, Trinity Fusion, which I have played, and I think, yeah, I actually do. I have a video for it on YouTube. Definitely go check it out. Master Plan Tycoon and Liberté.
I really did. I bought Master Plan Tycoon. I don't regret that purchase. That was a good game. That's a good game. It's a great demo. Oh, the demo was great.
Yeah, Trinity Fusion is a really good Metroidvania. Definitely go check that out on youtube.com/MajorLinux.
Yeah. And please go play Doors Paradox, because Doors, that's a really good, that's a wonderful game. The sequel Boxes is also good. I played that. I probably should run back Boxes when I get a little free time on stream. That's what was Doors.
And hey, I mean, Golf with Friends is a good game to pick up too.
That could be a possible
Third place.
First place, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I saw that on the list. GTA 6 delayed to 2026. Also, I do want to put up, look, the new trailer came out that announced this date, and there's been some discourse online. I feel like we need to address the elephant in the room. Apparently this year, or this iteration of Grand Theft Auto, believe it or not, it's been taken over by the woke agenda. There are women that are lead characters. There's booty shaking. There's naked women just strewn about the game. And dare I say it, there is simulated murder of I'm sorry, I couldn't finish.
That was funny to me. That was funny to me. I seen that on Blue Sky, and I cackled, and I'm like, what you mean talking about this game is anti-cop. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't think you realized the game called Grand Theft Auto was gonna be pro Back to Blue.
No, I mean, listen.
It's like Star Trek is woke. Say you never watch the Star Trek without saying you never watch the Star Trek. Like,
just what the fuck, bro?
Like, you're over here talking about this. These are the same people who are just like, I don't know why you had to make Star Trek woke, and I don't know why you have to make Star Wars political. So,
brother, what? Like, man's like Nichelle Nichols and
Discovery.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Damn, that's on me. I recognize the name but attribute it to the wrong person. That's on me. I've got that as Captain Uhura. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna walk away. I'm just gonna turn around.
But I'm just saying, like, James T. Kirk and Uhura shared the very first interracial kiss on TV.
I'm pretty sure for him that was not as big a deal as a lot of other people are making it.
No, because he wanted it to happen, because the story was the word from the curb. And trust me, I got this from Drunk History, and it was confirmed by Nichelle Nichols. How the scene went was they did two takes. They did one was the kiss, and they did one where they kind of like just embraced each other, but they didn't kiss. So the way it worked is, I can't believe I forgot his name. I can't believe. Oh God, I forgot his name. Kirk, the man that played Kirk.
William Shatner.
William Shatner. Yeah, exactly. I can't believe I forgot his name. That's
But the sad thing is, it still took me a minute to wait. Like, wait, what is his name?
Yeah, that's bad on me. But anyway, William Shatner. Basically, they did the two takes, one with the kiss, one without the kiss, one with like them just embracing. But the way he got around it was in the scene where he embraces, what they're embracing, he crosses his eyes. Like he aggressively crosses his eyes during that scene so they couldn't use the tape. And it would have cost them money to reshoot it. So they just said, do the kiss then. And then they just did the kiss. And the kiss happens. But the way the kiss happens in context is they're being mind controlled by aliens, by the alien, like these alien Romans. And so they're like basically like these hedonistic alien Romans. And they're basically like forced to kiss each other. And so it's basically like, it's not even like a passionate scene. It's basically like we're forced to do it under mental duress. We are being physically forced to kiss each other. And I don't feel comfortable as a man kissing his subordinate, a superior officer kissing his subordinate in this way. And so, but the kiss happens. And the kiss happens, and it's a big deal. And again, on Star Trek, a show that probably at that time was probably like, yo, we can't. We are on the shoestring of shoestringy budgets. Like, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's always been that type of show. It's always been that show in its inception. It's like Twilight Zone with Rod Serling. It's always been that way in its inception, as something to make you think and make you really consider. You know, like, oh, this is what happened. This is what happens when we let bigotry, racism, and misogyny and xenophobia go, and then a lot of that
went over the heads of Americans.
Went over the heads of Americans, but then realizing that a lot of that stuff got passed, a lot of those issues got passed to the aliens. It's like we've overcome our BS, but the Klingons haven't, and so. That's what we got to deal with.
Maybe that explains why almost everybody in Empire is a human. Like at one point, I had really had to think about that. I was like,
right.
Oh, no, actually, this makes sense now. Especially when you realize, oh, the play is about us.
Right. It's like the rebel is like the Corellians that didn't bend. And
or more accurately, the rebels are the Viet Cong.
The rebels are the Viet Cong, and they're basically doing insurgent tactics. You know, even rebel pilots defect from. Even rebel pilots were Imperial officers and pilots who defected from. You know, they learned their skills from the Imperial Flight Academy, and then defect and go and join the rebellion. That's why TIE fighters don't have hyperdrives. It would make them easy to dip. It would make them easy to defect. They have to fly. They have to fly into the big bulk cruisers to hyperdrive.
Well, luckily, let's not spoil season 2.
Oh, of Andor? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. There was one, but maybe that was a special one.
But that was one for a reason.
I was like, oh, that was the reason.
That was one for the reason and nothing else.
So, oh shit, we should stop doing that.
You know, yeah.
They keep stealing our shit.
Exactly, because it's like that's why X-Wings can hyperdrive, because they're trying to go in and then zip out. Hit and run tactics.
Also, really, again, I've been telling people for the past couple of weeks, did not know that Tony Gilroy had based Andor off of Stalin, and I'm like, Stalin is that dude. He actually is kind of that dude.
Yeah,
but I have to add this qualifier: young Stalin, not USSR Stalin.
bank robber.
Yes,
And
like I had no idea that's what Stalin was doing before he met Lenin. I'm like,
oh yeah,
he was about that fucking life though.
He was robbing banks. He was robbing banks, kidnapping. He was about that action. So
I said, okay,
yeah.
now I see why people are fucking with Stalin. Because when people say Stalin, I keep thinking about the autocrat, not bank robbing, kidnapping motherfucker. It's okay.
Yeah, it's like Stalin the criminal, not Stalin the autocrat. Yeah.
But yeah, yo, like watching that show though, it's like, man, yeah, this play is definitely about us.
This play is definitely about us. We had that moment. We had that moment in Split Fiction. That was funny.
Yeah, I was like, yep, this play is about us.
You see this man, and I know Andrew Wilson's probably looking like, is this play about us?
Yep.
And Joseph's like, maybe.
No. It's about the Oscars. Fuck the Oscars.
It's about something totally different, and it's not
Fuck
about us.
Huh?
Like,
Fuck the Oscars?
Fuck the Oscars? Huh?
Fuck them. That's
It's
Reggie
like-
Fils-Aimé. Fuck them.
It's like, oh, I'm like I say, are we the bad guys? Yes.
Yeah.
This play is about us. But yes.
Grand Theft Auto 6 delayed until May 26, 2026. So now all of those games that moved out of the way.
It's like it's that wonderful sigh of relief. You just you heard an audible sigh of relief.
My
like,
PC side.
Oh, like
my PC side, it was like, oh God, thank God. Well, shit, his backlog is saved for like 6 months.
Okay, he can at least my Steam library sighed because it was like, ooh, okay, cool.
Merge, I don't know if we are the baddies, but I am a baddie.
Baddie.
Yep.
But anyway, but yeah, like it's just like backlogs and like such were like calmed down and chilled for a little bit. Like developers, I mean, indie people were like, well, it is what it is. But like,
oh, that's
AAA,
right.
Yeah, AAA devs were like, yeah, okay. Your PC was always saying.
Yeah, I forgot that this thing does not launch on PC day and date.
Yeah, day and date. That's going PC. That's 18 months.
Oh, so we are the baddies.
Yeah. So at that time, I could, but yeah, I was like I say, I was fine. I was fine with it. Because again, I wasn't gonna be thinking about it. I wasn't gonna think about it until next year anyway. So it was just kind of like okay. Ooh, be careful playing this.
Oh, you're right. Luckily, the audio isn't coming through, but also this is the first trailer and not the second one.
Yeah, but how the differences between the first one and the second trailer was like, I mean, the first one looked really good. The first one was like, oh, this is nice. Once we got to the second and them rays were tracing like a mug and the lighting engine was like flexing and cracking its knuckles, I was like, okay. And then you see at the end says captured on PS5, and I was like, you guys just sold a lot of PS5s right now.
Yeah.
You guys really just sold some PS. I'm not even talking about pros. I'm talking about you sold regular base PS5s.
Yeah.
On the back of that.
Let's see, XP Dark Venom, welcome to the stream. I'm glad Claire Obscura Expedition 33 deserves to win Game of the Year. If GTA 6 comes out, it wouldn't happen. And Expedition 33 hope changes the industry. I do too. I hope it changes the industry. However, it is the opinion of this podcast, at least majority opinion at this moment, that Split Fiction wins Game of the Year.
Yes, because
I mean, I've got my personal one in Assassin's Creed Shadows. I think Claire Obscura does have a chance. I know Kev is he would probably go for Monster Hunter World.
Nope.
If it wasn't for Split Fiction.
Nope.
Hold on. Really?
I got my list. Hold on.
Oh shit, he's got a list.
I got my no. I like Merge should know. Merge should know. Merge already knows this because we pretty much I pretty much had talked about it at the time. But looking at my list is 2 Point Museum.
Okay.
That's like the, but it's still early. I'm still waiting to see what Power Wash Simulator 2 does.
I'm sorry.
So that might switch over.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That won't happen. It will not dethrone Split Fiction.
I mean, it won't. But when you say like,
yeah, in a world where Split Fiction doesn't exist,
right? I'm saying if Split Fiction wins, I'm thrilled. I'm over the moon. But if you're saying like, dog, what's yours? 2 Point Museum.
So you're number one, regardless of everything you've played so far, even in a world in which Split Fiction exists.
Yes.
It's still 2 Point.
Yes.
I don't even know who you are anymore.
I'm that dude.
We just talked about this last week. You said game of the year.
I told you it's good. It's a good. I'm saying it's going to win the awards. I'm saying it's going to win the awards.
You should say that without question. 2 Point is not going to win. It is going to be Split Fiction.
I'm saying to you as a person who has played these games, and I am saying to you with my whole heart and both lungs. Like say it's gonna win. It's gonna be on a lot of like game of the year contention lists because it's deserved and it needs to have that. And it's 100. And I 100% stand on the fact that it is a like great game and you should play it. And it would be remiss of you to not play it. But I could say the exact same thing, even loudly, about 2 Point Museum.
Don't even know
because it's just that good game to me, where it basically shakes up the formula of the other past 2 Point games, and actually makes museum management not only like fresh and interesting, but there's also like it just makes me want to like play. And oops, I've already spent 3 hours. 3 hours are gone. Like.
I will say that, like Bert says here, like 2025 has been a surprisingly great year for gaming already, and Venom. So both of them is showing you don't have to be a big studio to produce AAA game at higher prices and meaty and good storytellers. Like again, it is just the beginning of May.
Yeah, it's just.
And
May.
we're having this conversation. Delta has not come out.
Delta's not
Borderlands 4 has not come out, even though that's not even anywhere near contention for me. But yet Delta has not even come out.
Like even in the confines of like what you consider to be AAA games, it's still freaking early. It's still early, and there's still like big. There's still
shit that ain't even been announced yet.
Games like like Firebreak's not out yet. Which is like the multiplayer Control game. Yeah. And then even in like the cozy-ish voice space, like, I mean, there's a whole console coming out. And those games are starting, and those games are going to be in contention for Game of the Year. Like, it's a chunky, meaty year. Like, so it's full, chock to the brim. And even in the indie cozy space, I mean, like Fantasy Life Eyes coming out in a few weeks, and then near the end of summer is like in August it's gonna be Discounty and another Rune Factory game, and a Story of Seasons game, which is a remake for the GBA, I believe. But yeah.
See, Mind's Eye, The Alters.
Mind's Eye.
Death Stranding 2 Rematch. Been hearing some good things about Rematch.
Yep, good things about Rematch.
Tony Hawk 3 and 4.
A revival of Patapon.
Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, Marathon, Ghosts of Yotai.
Yeah.
And again,
Oh,
November and December
shit.
still haven't even had.
Yes, Ghost, a new Ghost game comes out. Yo. And a Wild Society. A prequel to Wildflowers. That's supposed to be coming out this year. Don't know when, but it's coming out.
Okay, I feel like they have not cleaned up this list of games that were giving years but not dates, because Death Stranding 2 on the Beach is on this list of to be announced, but it also has a date.
Oh yeah, Venom. The Doom game comes out. From the makers of a Dune and a Doom is coming out.
No, we don't talk about Doom here.
Oh, that's right. We're not talking about Doom.
Metal Eden, Mecha Break, Metroid 4. Allegedly Silk Song.
They mentioned it, so it's bound to come out.
Like Kev said, Power Wash Simulator 2.
Which that's gonna be a day one either way for me. That's a day one for me. I've been playing Power Wash 1 in anticipation. As if I'm gonna uninstall Power Wash 1.
So yeah, I mean, their games still come out in 2025. Like, yeah, like this first half has been pretty stacked.
Oh, and Witchbrook, that's winter. Oh my god.
Where wins me? I don't know. I can't feign that excitement. I have no idea what any of these games are. That's on me. That's an indictment on me as a person.
Right. That's why I'm punching the air when I heard Witchbrook, and I was like, yes, because I have not seen that game. I have not seen that game outside of stills, outside of a really nice high res key art. Like I've not seen that game actually moving. So to see a trailer that had me hyped. But yes, GTA 6. I am excited. I can wait.
I mean, look, if you like that woke mind virus stuff, sure.
Yeah, which I ain't gonna tell you. I kind of like it.
Yeah, same here.
I like it. Yeah. So the trailer's good.
I'm sorry, Sid. I know we talked a lot about 6.
Yeah. It's like you talk not too much now, not too much.
I talked a lot about it. I think this is the most that game has been mentioned in a podcast.
Yeah.
No, like this, and it's fine. Like for everybody's notes, I'm the resident Hollow Knight player in this group, so that's where that's coming from, and I don't mind. Like,
but that was me for a long time with Tomodachi Life. Yeah.
No, like just considering the amount of like things that I have backed on Kickstarter alone at this point, I'm just used to waiting for things. It's fine.
Right.
I'll say that was me with Skull and Bones until it finally came out. I was like, okay, this is not what I wanted. Never mind.
Mm-hmm. But I think I am more excited. I am more excited about that GTA 6 as much than I thought I would. I'm not saying I'm going to actively make an attempt to try and play it at launch because I don't know how much the prices is. But what I will say is I am more excited about playing a GTA 6 than I was before. Like, same thing what happened with Borderlands 4. Like, but with Borderlands, I'm like, I always get a Borderlands. I always get the Borderlands, and then I play it to like 2-3 hours of it, and then I like fall off. But yeah, I'm actually actively excited about a Borderlands game for a reason. But yeah, I'm happy to see it, but there's just gonna be a lot of games.
Yeah.
But
again, meantime, take your time, Rockstar.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Get it right. I am not in no big hurry because even if I was on the track of getting a PS5 and playing it on the PS5, I don't mind waiting. I don't mind waiting the year. But if not, I am like on a track of 18 months. And generally, I wouldn't say this as I knock on wood. I'm gonna say this as I knock on wood that you probably can't hear. But the games tend to be pretty well optimized on PC. So that gives me hope. We'll see.
Speaking of cost of video games, EA,
Yes.
makers of Project $10,
Yes.
decided, hey, you know what? Maybe we don't need to increase the cost of our games like everybody else.
Right, because their margins are thin. They are thin.
Thin for the shareholders, not for everybody else.
Thin for the shareholders, right? But I'm saying like they can't. It's like for them, they would get that off the back end with the mic. Whatever they lose, they would get that back from the back end with microtransactions, with the loot boxes and such. So it wouldn't be feasible for them to raise the prices as much as they can, because they know they're going to make billions off of the microtransactions alone. And of course, and as I was said to Major on Blue Sky, it's like they only have a gnat's wing of goodwill left because they are the company of microtransactions and what do you say, Project $10. Thanks, Riccatello. But yeah, they don't have a lot of wiggle room when it comes to it, being that Veilguard didn't make the money that they thought they were going to make. They wanted the Dragon Age. Yeah, Dragon Age game. So they kind of like, well, we could charge the $80 and still be hated because we were voted the worst company in America at one time.
Like that one time, but yeah, definitely worse companies have shown up since then.
Yeah, worse companies have showed up then, but it's still they got it sitting on the shelf somewhere. They got a golden turd sitting on the shelf somewhere. But yeah, they probably don't want the smoke because they know they could just make the money back on the back end with microtransactions and like deluxe editions and whatever. So it's not really feasible for them to be able to make to sell $80 games. Plus, any goodwill that they probably getting is probably on the back of Joseph Paris.
Ruin, I don't think enough people know about Comcast to kind of make that argument. I will say that yes, Comcast is worse than EA and has always been worse than EA.
And they
not enough people
that title.
Not enough people have heard of Comcast.
It's in that particular year they've gotten it, and then subsequent years Comcast have gotten it. It's just that particular year they were on, like, EA was on a right one, and then they got it.
Who started early access? I would say the people who were sharing shareware or demoware games like back in the 90s. Oh, yeah, maybe even the 80s.
Well, see, early access is like, in a way, it's kind of like an indie term. It's like
but those were free. Oh, good. You know what? You're right. Good point. Those were technically free. At that point, Steam.
Right. Yeah, it was Steam.
It was Steam.
It was Steam.
I knew what the answer was, but I wanted to be an asshole for a second.
Right. Yeah. But see, what happened was early access in the way it kind of works is because it's like, okay, I'm basically developing a game with no money. Like I'm selling access to this alpha build in order for me to, as I go, I will finish the game. Like you're basically saying, like, I will finish the game because I'm being self-funded, so I'm going to sell early access, patent pending, trademark, to this game, so that as I develop the game, I will still have income coming in from, and then of course I'm getting buzz from the game because people are playing the game, people are doing the reviews, people are talking about it, people are making videos, especially in the burgeoning influencer market. People are talking about people are playing games, and streaming games, so that gets more eyeballs to the game. There are games that I love that were early access. Dinkum was in early access. Like currently, Traveler's Rest is still in early access. Flotsam early access. There are games that are in early access because it allows those games to come out, get capital, and then be able to recoup costs from development, and also allow people to make keep it going.
I think there's something to be said here about, like we're asking about the question of, well, who started this access trend for video games? But that is kind of a larger general tech and software question of being like, hey, people were allowed early access to things because at some point they wanted the input of the people who were going to use the software and play the games. That's that's what's happening there. And that was the baseline and the foundation of that, right? And then that turned into, but either A, we can make that a status thing where only a limited amount of people get access to it if they pay for it, or B, we can have people pay into it at large to get access to things and give us feedback and stuff.
Don't forget Steam Greenlight did exist before Steam Early Access though.
Yeah.
So you got, I'm just talking, this is more of a generalized thing. And
yeah,
stuff.
but it's kind of going along that conversation of at one point, yes, people did get early access to games just solely for that input. Then there's that mix of column A and column B with what Kev was saying, where they were trying to get that feedback, but also trying to build capital to finish game. And I think that's where Greenlight came into play. Yeah. But something happened with Greenlight. Somebody fucked it up somewhere. It was rebranded as early access.
Yeah.
And I feel like those rules were loosened to where now it's just hey, I have a game and it does not matter who it comes from. I have a game you can buy into it early while we still build it. Sure, we'll take input from the community, whether that's words or most definitely in 100% your dollars. And what that influences now, who knows? For smaller devs, that may influence whether that game comes out or not.
Yes.
But for bigger devs, it's this is essentially a pre-order.
Right.
And that's also that because for all the time that it's existed, pre-orders are still a relatively new thing.
In the world of digital sales, I do not pre-order.
And then in addition to all of that, this is where you see you start seeing the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the decline of things like the exclusivity of an E3 event. You know what I mean? It's so many different things together, but at the end of it, when it comes to what it could have been versus what it has become, cue the sound clip.
Capitalism
ruins everything once again. Now, that being said, I do want to say one thing about this Epic Games article and all of that other stuff, which is, how did you spend
the Epic Games? That was way at the beginning.
No, not the Epic. Who? Oh, was it? No, who was the one about
not changing game prices? Because I moved Epic to the beginning to talk about the Apple shit.
Not the changing game prices. Wasn't there another article for Epic where they were just hey, we're doing for we talked about that earlier, right?
Yeah, because that was a part of their whole thing with the lawsuit, and hey, we're also just not going to charge developers who make less than $1 million to sell their game on the store.
Offhanded comment about that. It was wild to see that 2/3 of that article had nothing to do with Epic Games.
I mean, it pointed, like from what I saw, like it pointed to a lot of the industry taking a cut of game sales. That why 30%?
And it was like, because they were just like, so about Steam, and I'm like,
yeah, about Steam, like Steam, what the fuck?
Exactly. Yeah. Seeing what?
No,
what
and it's like Steam, Apple, Google, what the fuck?
Come to the front.
oh, also, we're not Google, like who barely, like, how long did Stadia exist?
Oh, we're talking about the Play Store.
Somehow I feel like that's even worse. But what else do we have left?
Yeah, because we are dangerously running low on time.
Yes.
It's been we haven't done a show in a couple of weeks. We haven't done a new show in 3 weeks, so
Yeah,
we're getting it's pinned up. It's pinned up.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
we're about to go on
like,
vacation next month, so
yeah.
we got 2 weeks of news.
Yeah, we got 2 weeks of news, and then we're
That's
back
it for a
on
month.
vacation for a month.
Yep.
Yeah.
From Dark Venom, dollars in a 15-minute survey. I see you with the dollars, and all I have to say is it's not dollars, it's an Amazon. It's a chance at winning an Amazon gift card.
It's
your dollars in a 15-minute survey for your input.
Yeah, for your
It's your
input.
input of cash. It's your input for cash and your input in a 15-minute survey.
And a chance to win an Amazon gift card.
Yeah,
Well, I have a chance to recoup my costs. Yay!
An opportunity? Maybe? Slim? Let's go.
All right, so these next two articles, Nintendo is suing some folks. Of course, Nintendo is suing Genki because of the stunt they pulled at CES with.
They tried it.
Yeah, they tried it. Now, whether or not they were successful, I don't know, because I did not see the mock unit. But apparently it was enough to where Nintendo's like, so about that.
Yeah, so it's the equivalent of nah, fam, I don't like that. And I'm like, you know what? They were in their rights. They were in their rights to do, like I'm not on that, like Nintendo would be right, but I'm like on that they should have clocked you. I'm glad they're clocking you for that because why, bro? Why you do this?
Like, y'all have seen this man come from Pokemon or whatever. Like, what are y'all talking about here?
Like,
and when I say like come from when I say come from Pokemon, remember when like Nintendo was just like, hey, all those unsanctioned tournaments y'all are having? Yeah, like
none of that.
Like you see people, you see like Nintendo come from far more legit people. What are we doing?
Right. It's like, yeah. It's like you.
All right. Look, I'm gonna try this. Right.
Yeah.
Trying to see if I can get just a clean shot of a Switch 2, but I might have to Google it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's when we look at it, it's like that's clearly a Switch. That's clearly
it's a Switch. It's a Switch.
Right.
It's a Switch, but it's in a Switch 2.
Right.
All right, here we go.
It's like even the attempt was kind of like, my dog, what are you doing? Side by side.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying.
Computer enhance.
Shut up. I'm trying. Oh wait, I forgot. Windows 11 does this weird thing now. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Left and all right, there we go.
Okay.
Damn it! Why is these words right here on the side?
You know what? We got Dance World Bros.
There we go. There we go.
Okay. Yeah. See?
No, dog. That is definitely a fucking Switch 2.
That's a Switch. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a Switch 2.
That's a Switch 2.
That's a Switch 2.
That's a Switch 2.
That's a Switch 2. And so for you to have a Switch 2 just out there in the wild, them people had every opportunity to come for what constitutes your edges, what you consider to be your edges.
That's a Switch, because even this mysterious third button,
Yeah.
which we found out was the C button.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fucking Switch too.
That's a Switch too. That's a Switch too, my guy. You're getting sued. Because of course they would have the dimensions because they make the peripherals. So they were just like, well, what if we just 3D print a Switch 2 and put it out there and be like, hey guys, this is what Switch 2 looks like. And it's like, yeah, you're gonna get clocked. So that's
just
my guy.
That's just fucking stupid. Why would you do that?
It is stupid. Would you do that? To quote Cardiana Boniqua, what was the reason?
What was the reason?
What was the reason?
Also, there's of course we knew about the lawsuit towards Pocket Pair, the developers of Power World. Power World has modified their game in relation to those lawsuits, and apparently people are not happy. And Pocket Pair's like, yeah, dog, we know we had to take the glider and shit out.
Yeah.
Okay, can I just
Can't throw the PAL spheres anymore.
Oh, we have a sticky note.
I'm sorry, y'all can't have gliding like PAL companions or whatever you call them in this game. Bruh. That is a mount. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
That is a mount.
Wait,
Games that have mounts. Wow. Final Fantasy 11, Final Fantasy 14, every MMO that has ever existed. Power World, what are we talking about here? Y'all ain't had to do that.
I don't know. I don't know. How about Pokemon? Because you can fly your Pokemon
Well, I mean, that's the point. That's what they're suing them for. Because you can fly
it's
the
one
Pokemon.
of those things. Because okay, I get that you can fly the Pokemon or whatever, but like
MMORPG.
How many MMOs exist? What are you talking about? Like, that's like being like, you can't have chocobos in Final Fantasy games. Hello? What are we doing here? No. Shut up. Shut up. What is that? Like, that, of all the things that y'all was doing Power War for, this is the thing that y'all decided to make a change about? This is silly.
Be like, how dare you ride a giant bird?
I would love to see the specific wording of the lawsuit that required that particular change. I would love to see it.
All right, here we go. Now, this sounds very loud because, yeah.
Will you ignorant niggas please shut the hell up?
Actually, it wasn't as loud as it was last time I tried to play that. Maybe I fixed the audio. I don't know. Look, I do things over here.
Yes.
And of course, this is an Xbox stories. And of course, again, I have to preface this because every time I've stated that every time I talk about Microsoft and the Xbox platform, I have to preface the stories by saying Microsoft is currently on the boycott, divestment, and sanctions list. This is a list of companies that are that are being asked by Palestinian activists to apply economic pressures on because of the fact that they are actively supporting materially in the genocide of Palestinians in historic Palestine. The companies also include McDonald's, Burger King, Pizza Hut, Papa John's, Adidas. I want to say Reebok at this point. I cannot remember. HP, certain other companies that have certain pressures, but not really big ones because, again, they're so ubiquitous. Or Google and Amazon, who are notorious for their joint project with the IOF called Project Nimbus. With all that being said, this show is not an Xbox, but your PlayStation is about to be. Gears of War Reloaded Remaster is coming to PS5, Xbox, and PC in August. So you'll be able to play Gears of War on your PlayStation. But just because it's on my PlayStation does not mean I'm going to play it because, again, it was made by an Xbox Game Studio, which is one of the express targets or the explicit targets of the BDS boycott.
Indeed.
So yeah, there we go. And that's a show.
Show, baby.
See how I sped run those last bit articles? It was great. I did it.
Yeah, we did lightning round. Lightning round.
It wasn't as much as I thought it was because the 3 other tabs I have open are for the 2 documents in Google Drive.
Yes.
So it seemed like it was a lot more, but there really wasn't.
No.
Well, without dilly-dallying long, Kev, what you got going on this week?
Mother's Day.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Mother's Day. Mother's Day weekend, so I'm gonna be in the shop. I'm gonna be under that hot stove, chefing it up. Because we are not going outside. Mother's Day to wait like upwards of 30 to 45 minutes for a table with all the other mamas. So that's gonna be a no for me. That's gonna be a no for us, dog. We're gonna be sitting at home, eating our good food that I made, and watching game shows. Cause that is how we roll on Sunday. Also, are we doing split fiction?
Yes. As far as I know, right now there is nothing happening on Friday.
Okay, so we will be.
I will always say that there is a caveat that somebody may want to go out to eat, but I will let you know. Just always check back with me on the day of, because marital things.
Yeah. Oh yeah, marital things. Yeah. So I will be clocking with you on Friday and see what happens.
Yeah.
And we shall see.
As far as I'm concerned, right now, Split Fridays is still happening. 2 weeks in a row.
Yes.
It's never happened before. They said it couldn't be done.
But it will be. Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah. So, and then also, wrestling. I forgot wrestling this weekend, so I'm probably gonna be watching the wrestling. Let's see. Catching up on those split fiction clips that I have been sitting on. I think I shared. I've been slightly trickling them out on TikTok. They will also be on YouTube. I'm trying to be better about tagging you into the posts. I haven't been so much on YouTube, but I'm definitely being more on TikTok. So you can be able to see them on the Talk of Ticks. And also playing a lot of and probably gonna be playing some Roots of Pacha and Monster Hunter. I think they've wrapped up the first event hunts, because I got the full event armor, and probably do some Arc Tempered raid out stuff, because that wasn't a hard fight at all. No, easy peasy. And I am totally not mentally scarred from that fight, not one bit. No, I'm not. So yeah, I'll be probably playing like a bunch of maybe playing a little bit of Monster Hunter Wilds and Roots of Pacha, and now I've kind of wanted to watch Conclave. From the past 2 days, I kind of wanted to watch Conclave for the first time. It's been on my.
I read something that said that a lot of Cardinals were watching that movie to understand what the fuck was about to happen this week.
Yeah, it's like to which that cracks me up, because it's like oh, you're watching a movie about what you're doing.
To be fair, I probably would have done the same thing too. Like if there was a movie that was going to tell me how to set up how to pixie boot a physical server, I probably would watch it.
Yeah.
like sure, a little intrigue, but yep, here we go, booting the server from the pixie.
I mean, it's people who like learned about the financial crisis by watching The Big Short, yep. and seeing Margot Robbie in that bathtub. What I was talking about my mom. What I was talking to my mom about. It's funny enough I brought that up, but I was talking to my mom about it, and it's like sometimes you have to have an Australian woman in a bathtub full of bubbles to get your point across.
I mean, look, sex sells.
Yeah, sex sells. And yeah.
Sometimes it'll sell you big fucked up shit.
Which is wild because that is the second movie that Margot Robbie was in about finance. The first was Wolf of Wall Street. Boom, we're back. But yes, so that's probably what we're doing is cooking, watching Conclave, playing video games, and just maxing and relaxing. Because yeah, just had urge to watch that movie.
The Big Short is free on YouTube right now.
Of course it is.
I don't know. I don't know if it's free for everyone, but for me it is. Like I pay for YouTube Premium. But I'm looking at it right now because I actually just want to watch the Margot Robbie scene for reasons, just financial research. Really, that you know what? I can't even sell. As much as I am telling the truth, I know I cannot sell it.
You probably could just. They probably just have the scene up on YouTube.
They do. That's what I have queued up.
Yeah.
But I looked into the corner and I could see that the whole ass movie is fucking free.
Yeah, it's like.
But I really don't want to watch the movie. I just want to watch this. I've never seen it. I've never seen the movie, so I've never seen this scene. I don't want to be sad.
But a good chance if you have premium and ad block.
I mean, it's free right now. I can just click it and it'll just show it to me.
Yeah.
But I have no interest in watching 2 hours of this movie. I just want to see if she accurately does describe the situation. Because like for me, it's like, I know it was fucked up, but I don't know the mechanics of it. And I'm wondering how deep that actually goes and have that be kind of a starting point. Because I actually like to learn about this shit. Because again, when I'm railing against capitalism, I would like to give people poignant examples of why capitalism is bad. And you know, hey, the 2008 financial crisis is kind of a blind spot because I was in college and somewhat insulated from that.
Because it's wild. Effectively, these movies, when these movies are like breaking down like pivotal things in society, like historical events, they usually are not like 7 years old from the event. It's usually like decades away where people have forgotten about it, and then we're like, hey, let me take you back to 2008. That was. Yeah,
I mean, and they've only gotten short. The distance between event and their movie has since gotten shorter.
Right.
They realize, oh, we have no fucking ideas.
Yeah, the Comey thing was like,
stop it.
3 years ago.
No, I'm looking at a comment. And someone says, can someone tell me what she said? I wasn't paying attention to the dialogue.
Mm-hmm. How about you just close your eyes?
Yeah, it's like it's a podcast.
Yeah. But yes.
Yeah, great idea having us try to understand something explained by Margot Robbie in a bathtub.
Yes. And knowing what people the time people were on to be able to be like, yeah. But anyway, that's my weekend. And that's my week.
Sin.
I'm going to read books, maybe try to spend some quality time with friends and go to the gym. That's it. That's all we're doing over here.
Cool. Let's see. For me, not entirely sure what we're gonna do for Mother's Day. Something might happen. I don't know. Things have been weird in the summer's extended universe of family members. So I don't know. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, I guess, which is sooner rather than later. Outside of that, oh yeah, I'm on call. I am now on the on-call schedule for work. So tomorrow will be the start of my backup on-call shift. And then next week I will be primary on-call. So if we do not finish Split Fiction tomorrow, which I don't think we will, I think we still may have like another story and some change.
Yeah.
The 3 weeks in a row may be threatened. I don't know. I do not want to wish that upon myself, but just let you know, things may happen. I hope not.
Right.
I know there's a couple of other things that are happening next week. I will get into them next week. I will say, hey, put it on your calendar. If you are in the Raleigh-Durham area, there is a Nakba remembrance event that is happening in downtown Raleigh on next Saturday, I believe. There's also a Stream Raleigh event happening next Saturday. I'm trying to figure out how to juggle all of that because I also scheduled to get my hair retwisted that day.
Ooh.
Yeah, I forgot. And then also got added to the on-call schedule. So next weekend is going to be very interesting for me.
Okay.
But again, that's a Saturday problem, not a Friday problem. The Friday problem is, again, who knows? Nothing may happen. Yeah. But I can't be too far away from my computer to do anything. So we'll see how that goes. And unfortunately, because of work, the one thing I really want to go to may be the thing that gets cut because it'll involve me being outside and nowhere near like a place where I can easily use my computer. But yeah, let's see. Outside of that, nothing really is happening. Just another day in the neighborhood, I guess. It's strange. I do want to recommend, hey, if you want to, the PSL Action Network, where if you want to support activists on the ground doing things, stepping up to capitalism and saying that, hey, we need to kill it before it kills us, please look that up, PSL Action Network. I mentioned that. One, yes, we could use some help financially to get some stuff going. This is nationwide, but on top of that, they are having an event with the Action Network and Palestinian Youth Movement to study Zionism, like an actual historical analysis of Zionism. So definitely, it's something I'm watching after the fact because there's sometimes like I'm unavailable to watch the streams live, so I've been watching them after the fact. Definitely, again, what's happening to the Palestinians started before October 7th, 2023. It's been going on since at least May 15th, 1947. And even before that, I mean, like, I thought it was 1890 something. No, it was years before that, decades before that. So definitely, it's a very eye-opening, very illuminating class. I definitely recommend if you are able to go out there and take it, please take it. Support, being hosted by the People's Forum and Palestinian Youth Movement. So definitely, if you're in New York, definitely check out the People's Forum. They are currently being attacked by the U.S. Congress, just like Code Pink, for saying they accept Chinese funds. Last time I checked, I'm not Chinese. But, you know, ni hao, I guess, whatever. But yeah, definitely go check that out if you can. But yeah, outside of that, thank you everybody for tuning in to another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays. Of course, you can check us out. If you are watching us live, you want to watch the previous episode, majors.house/TTT is where you can get the audio version. TTT vid is where you can get the YouTube playlist. If you're watching the archives, you can catch us live, twitch.tv/MajorLinux. If you would like to talk to us, there's social media, but hey, I recommend Discord. Majors.house/Discord is where you can talk to us and where you can comment and share news stories, tech and gaming news stories of your own, and also expand your political and open source education. Because again, that's what I love. That's what I love to talk about. Yeah, I think that's it. That's all the places you can find. Oh, yes. New website's been launched, majorrevolutionary.com. That's where I've been sharing a lot of my journey as a, I'm going to say a newly awakened socialist, political organizer and activist. You can definitely check out the reflections, some of the stuff that some of the stuff I've been writing about, especially since I've been employed again, and kind of the contradictions of capitalism when it comes to being a socialist in the belly of the beast. So definitely please go check it out. It's a ghost platform. You can subscribe to the newsletter. That's the only way apparently I can tell that anybody's reading any of this content, because it will not give me actual data as to who's looking at it. I'm looking at something to kind of give me some more info, but yeah, that's a problem for me. Excuse me, but please definitely go check that out. Let me know what you think. Protest for the world you want, not the one you got. You heard? But on that note, thank you again, everybody, for coming through. Of course, you could have been anywhere in the world, watching any stream in the world. You could have been reading the tech and gaming news yourself, but you said no. Because we buy into the woke agenda. We do not believe if you go woke, you go broke. But in fact, if you go fascist, you go cashless.
You go cashless.
Fascism is not where the money resides, where the money resides, where the money resides. And on that note, thanks again. Really appreciate it. Of course, no one is going to save us but ourselves. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And all I've got left to say to you wonderful people, and I feel like I did this in the wrong order, but it doesn't matter. I love you. Peace.
Wakanda forever.